Hello.
Hello.
What up?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, it's
Did Chaz join, or is it just ringing?
Oh shoot, Chaz, yeah, woo.
Except last I know he was on a freeway. Actually, he was taking an Uber, so.
The whistles go woo. Yeah.
Are you sure it's not just ringing him? Or is he actually in the call?
I'm here, guys.
Oh, I think it's ringing him right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Cause I see like the little
Everyone.
VFX thing going off. So I was like, okay, I don't think Chaz is in the call.
Yeah, he'll eventually notice after he realizes we both left his other call.
Oh wait, my camera's messed up. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Oh, yep, I fixed it. Okay, cool.
Kudono.
Okay, so I guess I'm going over the docket this time. Or just going over the Game Awards?
We can do the Game Awards. We can talk about this week in game dev, or gaming and game dev, and we could probably talk about our own projects a little bit.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Game Development Club podcast. Game Development Club at San Jose State University's podcast number 11. I'm a bit busy because we were supposed to record it yesterday, but then people weren't available yesterday and they didn't tell me ahead of time. So now we're recording it today and I'm not available today. So,
dude, who even are you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm Newxid501, and the other person who hosted the call is Carlos School Name.
Carlos School Name.
Dude, Carlos School Name. He's a jerk. Anyway, today again we'll be doing as the intro, we'll be doing the 1 minute what's going on with people today. So everyone gets 1 minute to talk about what they're working on, and then Kevin will be walking you guys through the Game Awards and announce the winners and what we think the winners actually should have been, because some of them were kind of eh. But obviously, personal opinion, you may select whatever you want for that segment. And yeah, so Kevin, you're in charge.
Sick.
Yeah. So everyone gets 1 minute to say what they're doing. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
I'm working on stuff.
Wow, good one.
I'm in hell.
No,
I mean, look.
Over this break, I'm planning to build.
Okay, I mean, I don't.
What?
I don't know why I said that out of nowhere. Andrew, your camera's not loaded.
My camera's not loaded?
Like, it's like, are you using your face cam?
Yeah, is it not working?
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not. Well, no one's face cam's working for me, so.
Hello, Gardenia. Hello.
Okay. Anyway, so
okay.
I'm still working on Mariana, and I'm doing some other programming stuff too. What about you, Matt? What top secret?
Dude, Mariana and the Abyss?
Yeah, I'm combining the games.
Sorry, I'm still in the past. So, what am I working on? Top secret, stuff.
How's Area 51 treating you?
It's pretty good. Getting better. Getting used to the aliens. That's not. Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll move on to the Game Awards. Hold on, Okay, why are these pictures so big?
My camera will be up in a minute. I'm just trying to fix it.
Okay, so first category we got here. I'm just looking at the list on the website. First category we got is Game of the Year. And the nominees were Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
I honestly thought Spider-Man actually deserved something, but I didn't see it win anything.
I should say the winner. The winner was God of War.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The winner was God of War overall. We saw that Red Dead Redemption didn't get it. I was actually pretty surprised that Red Dead didn't get it.
Red Dead was only out for a month after that. Shouldn't this be nominated for next year's thing?
I totally agree with you. I agree that it should probably have been next year, but it was in this year, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I will say it did win a fair number of awards, and actually I'm kind of glad it didn't win, because I thought it was just literally going to be a sweep of Red Dead. And since these were actually voted on by people who were interested, I kind of feel like it's kind of nice that God of War didn't get overshadowed maybe a little bit. Because when God of War came out, the people I know who were playing it were really, really excited about it, and they played all the way through and they loved it. front to back. The people I know who played Red Dead played a little bit. They said it was great, and then a lot of them didn't finish it. Like, and when I say finish, I
they
mean
probably didn't even have time to finish.
Yeah,
well,
what I mean
by finish is they didn't continue playing. It didn't sync them.
I get what you mean.
So the thing is, Red Dead definitely is a good game. There's no denying that. It is also likely also an acquired taste. And then I mean, they also started doing the microtransaction stuff, which is a little shady, maybe. I don't know.
But microtransactions for what kind of stuff?
You could go look up there's a big controversy about it actually, about their progression scaling in their online mode. They basically the whole progression scaling is whacked because of that.
Interesting. Okay.
I can get pull up some stuff and we can because this was a couple weeks ago. People were talking a lot about it, maybe 3 weeks ago. I can look it up and we could talk about it a little bit later. But
yeah,
figure we'll just game awards first and we could talk a little bit about if they're willing to.
Yeah, overall, I haven't played any of these games. I think the game I would most like would probably be Monster Hunter World. That seems like my kind of game.
I heard it got a lot of mixed reviews.
It did get mixed reviews, but the people I know who are playing it love it. Actually love it. So I feel like maybe yet again that's an acquired taste.
Yeah, where do the mixed reviews come from? What do people not like about it?
Steam users, I don't know. The one thing I think I mentioned this a couple weeks back, but one of the things I've noticed is that Steam reviews have gotten progressively worse for every game, including old games that were popular and haven't even changed yet. People are rating them lower.
So our expectations.
I don't think that's true because a lot of, maybe for multiplayer games.
Well, no, because I was looking to buy games and I was looking back at old games too, and I noticed that a lot of games I have loved and had great reviews historically have substantially lower recent reviews. Don't get me wrong. Of course, that's just the sample size that I looked at.
Yeah, no, so because I was gonna say the ones I looked at from when I played, the games I played a long time ago, are still pretty high. Some of them got higher.
I'm not saying they've dropped, and there are still some games that will buck the trend, but I've noticed a trend towards that. Even when and then with new games, even very good new games don't always get very good reviews in the more recent months, which is very interesting. So,
okay, now let's move on to the next category. The next category is best ongoing game. So awarded to games for outstanding development of ongoing content, blah, blah, blah. So then we got Destiny 2, Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and Rainbow Six Siege. And then the winner was Fortnite, which is disappointing.
I don't know. What game did you think deserved it?
Siege.
I kind of disagree then. I don't know too much about what Siege is doing, and I don't play Fortnite either, so I can't really speak to I played some Fortnite, but when it was kind of new.
Also, but I think also No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky might have deserved it. Yeah, I could see that. I could see giving it to they've just been outright working on that game, but they actually the thing with No Man's Sky is even when the game was pretty much a disaster, they were winning awards. So I don't feel bad they didn't win anything now. They're just bringing the game to what they promised at this point.
I know, but if you're going in terms of ongoing games, how well they've developed it over. Destiny 2 definitely does not. Destiny 2 is just, I don't know, that's just a DLC for an MMO that doesn't really deserve that. Fortnite adds a bunch of stuff, but it's
So wait, do you think that because the DLC is paid that it marginalizes the value or the fact that it's ongoing content and is actually because I've heard that
because it's not like it's going above and beyond. It's just standard DLC stuff for an MMO.
Okay, fair enough.
No Man's Sky, they released the game. They could have just let it crash and burn, but they're actually going out of their way to keep developing the game.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Overwatch probably doesn't deserve it either. I don't think they've developed it that much. It's just Blizzard's.
Yeah, actually, when we get to Overwatch, because Overwatch was one of the ones, I actually do want to talk a little bit about where it is right now, as far as what they're about, just in general. But I don't think that this category would have been a good Overwatch category, honestly.
Actually, I don't know about because I remember Siege on launch was so bad and everyone hated it, and now it's like one of the most beloved FPS games. So I'm like, if you're going to get that much of a like 180, you probably deserve best ongoing game.
I'd have to look into the what they've changed because I can't really say too much to that particular title. I do know that the one thing I will give Fortnite is that they continuously release new content for that game. They've been improving the engine, which has also been improving, obviously Unreal a lot overall, just because of Fortnite. And I think that like one of the things I've noticed that's been like really cool is they were adding game modes that really drastically turned the game on its head to some degree. They went mobile. Then they had like a 100-player match where it was like 50v50. That was really cool.
That's true. Yeah.
There was a shooter that it went down now. You can't play it anymore. But what was it called? I forgot. It was 64 team. It was like 64v64 FPS. That was so fun.
I think I know what game you're talking about actually. It might have been okay. It stars something. No, it was a Sony online entertainment game, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just like
PlanetSide 2?
No, PlanetSide 2 is still available. PlanetSide 2 is an MMO.
Oh, okay. What about Tribes? Is it Tribes?
Never played Tribes.
Okay, actually, Tribes is one of those games that I didn't play when it was like super relevant. Tribes is one of those games that I played later, and I'm disappointed I never played it. Like, if you ever have the opportunity to sit down and play Tribes, bless you, Lily.
Thanks.
But if you ever have the opportunity to play Tribes, any of you guys should probably enjoy it. Like,
I've actually never heard of Tribes.
It's really cool. Like, you kind of like surf around on the ground, and actually they actually made some really big steps forward in networking architecture for games. Like one of the things that
is this an old game or is it like a
it's an older game? No, it's an older game.
Oh, okay, it's 2012. 2012 is not that old.
Well, I said older. Not new. It's not definitely not new. But like there was a talk about Halo Reach's networking
Tribes
architecture.
Ascended is 2012. Okay.
Right. There are multiple Tribes games. Yes. So but there was a talk on networking by I do not remember his name from Bungie. It was a really good talk though. I wish I did remember his name. And he was talking about how it was like a GDC talk from years back, but he had done research, and some of the research he did led him to stuff that was being done for Tribes, for their networking model. Their networking model is really impressive. I know that's kind of off topic, but that was kind of a big game, like big teams. I wasn't sure if that was the game you were thinking of. Maybe not.
No, I don't. I don't remember. I just remember I got really sad when it shut down because it was like a free-to-play game too, and this was back when I was in like high school, and I could only get like free-to-play games.
It makes me sad because there's the occasional free-to-play game that makes me really, really happy, and then almost unanimously, those are the ones that shut down because I guess they don't make money. It's like good games don't make money, right? If you're free-to-play,
that's an unfortunate thing to say, though.
Oh, but it's the unfortunate truth of the matter right now is that it's not if it's not aggressively monetized, it's not a game that's going to
make a profit. Yeah.
Enough. Well, it's going to make a profit, but it's not going to be successful enough for them to want to keep it running rather than put something like work into something else that's not or that is aggressively monetized and will make them a ton of money, which is a shame. And when I say them, it's kind of become an industry-wide trend. It used to be like, oh, you could point at that company. There were a couple companies doing that, like, but that's kind of a trickle down almost from the.
Well, I mean, all of that just flows from the basic economics of how you make a game because it does cost a lot to make games.
That's true. I think that that's an interesting point though because it does also cost a lot to make other software, and.
Yeah, but you pay a lot more for other software.
Not really. Like, if it were $5 a month to play a game you really liked, I think people would pay that. Like, people used to pay $15 a month for WoW. I was one of them. You know what I mean? Like, that business model, actually, a subscription-based model works if someone is really invested in a product. Now, they're only going to invest in one or two products like that. They're not going to invest in, like, you only have so many hours to play. You're not going to invest in WoW and RuneScape and MMO.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying because in general, like, because of how the business models are, people will either pay $60 once or they will play a free-to-play game. like most people, I think, aren't going to play a subscription-based thing. I guess like WoW. I think the people who play WoW are the people who used to play WoW. Do they still get new players?
They do. Okay, so here's the thing with WoW. I was actually looking at the WoW numbers the other day. I think WoW is a really interesting case. If you're down, maybe we can talk a little bit about WoW when we get through talking about all the Game Awards stuff. Would that be something you'd like to talk about? Because I think that WoW is a really interesting case for the industry right now, and where the industry's
going. Another time. We could save it for another docket. We could have like an entire day about just monetization in games.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. I mean, WoW alone could be a topic for a day. There's so much you could say about WoW at this point. Because WoW's been alive for like what? It was released in 2000 and
no, because what I'm saying is if you see something like League is big enough where it can support its free-to-play model because it has the entire esports scene on it. It has the skin sales. It has like a big enough player base where that's actually like viable to support it. But if you have a smaller like game that's free-to-play, they probably have to do something a little more aggressive in monetization to be able to have enough money to sustain themselves.
Yeah, so it's weird because I, like, as a dev, like, I understand the want to make sure that you've monetized your game in a meaningful way. But I also kind of feel like there could be a model that really what ended up happening is we had a race to the bottom. You know what I mean? Everyone raced to free to play and then forced this model on everyone is kind of what ended up happening. Everyone devalued the products they had.
Well, I mean, that's just how, because I mean, it's not effectively pricing in video games is unregulated, right? You could say that.
I mean, it's regulated as much as pricing and anything else is. It's regulated by normal market trends. Yeah.
Yeah, but predatory pricing isn't regulated in games.
That's an interesting thought. Is it not?
Or is it called predatory pricing? What's the thing where you undercut your own profits to push out competitors?
To eliminate competitors.
Oh yeah. No, there's another word. It's loss leading profit, I think, or something like that, where you like.
No, it's called predatory.
Predatory pricing. Yeah, that makes sense. Where you price in a way that your competitors can't compete. Basically.
Yeah, because you're bigger and you have the resources, so you can take the hit.
Yeah, you can take a loss. Mm-hmm. Is my camera working, or is it still freaking derping out? Let's see.
Is mine
Come on,
working?
Camera, I believe in you. I believe in your inner camera-ness. Okay, is it cameraing now? Am I a camera?
It's buffering.
Okay, that's a positive sign.
So at least you got an animation we can watch.
Okay, cool. All right. Sorry. Continuing on, let's actually tackle some of these whatchamacallits.
Kevin, do you have anything in the docket?
Oh yeah, I've been muted. Holy god. Okay.
Okay. Kevin, which game do you think? So you think that it should have been
either Rainbow Six or No Man's Sky out of those for ongoing games?
Fair enough. I think that I personally would have probably given it to Fortnite or No Man's Sky, but I don't really know much about what's going on with.
The thing about Fortnite is they're adding stuff. Like they add stuff, but it doesn't feel like it fundamentally changed. Like they add game modes and stuff. That's cool, but in terms of the other stuff they add to the game, it doesn't feel like it fundamentally changes the game.
That's fair. I mean that is definitely fair.
Because
I think
it's like when any other, like if Overwatch adds a new champion, League adds a new champion, PUBG, Row just add new guns. It's like the same thing, except just more Fortnite-y. So I guess they add more stuff more often, but it almost just feels like filler. So it doesn't feel like a substantial like development like No Man's Sky or Siege.
But like, yeah, that's fair. I think that, I mean, like, I would definitely be more inclined to give it to the game that's doing the changes that upend the game positively the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm down with
basically,
that. Yeah, I agree. I agree with Lily on that. Fortnite kind of just adds stuff, but it doesn't really count as big changes. Like the biggest thing I could say is they add a lot of weapons, and from my understanding, and they add game modes, which I think do change the gameplay quite drastically. Like a 50v50 is pretty big, pretty big difference from like a 1v1 or 1v100 or 1v99, so to speak. So it's interesting for sure. But I don't know. I don't know if that makes it a game of the year contender.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
The next one, best game direction, outstanding creative vision and innovation. So the nominees were A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So 3 of those were already from the game of the year.
So here's the thing that's mind-blowing to me. Like
I should say the winner. The winner was God of War.
God of War honestly did have really good game direction. Because I watched a friend play probably about a third of God of War. I played a little bit of I played like the first sequence of Spider-Man, so I can't really say that I've played the entire game, but I did play enough to see that it was really well made.
I don't think Red Dead Redemption 2 would get creative direction because it's just like either Skyrim, Fallout, but like yeehaw.
But they have a lot of narrative. So I guess narrative direction could definitely get narrative direction.
But this is creative vision and innovation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm not agreeing that I don't think Red Dead should have that necessarily. I'm just saying that I'm kind of listing. What was the other one you said?
God of War, Marvel, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, and A Way Out.
So I actually also got to watch, I had friends who were playing Detroit. They were actually playing together, and that game has multiple storylines of characters that are going, and they literally were sitting in the same room. They were all grouped together, and as they would switch characters, they would literally switch who was playing that character. And even though that's not part of the game, the fact that the game kind of allowed for that kind of play style with its narrative was actually quite amazing. And I think that game had a lot of, at least it was quite creative and had a good narrative direction. If anything, I'd probably give that game narrative direction for last year. But creative direction, I actually probably would still give it to God of War. Because I
actually haven't played any of these again. Spider-Man looked interesting. God of War looked interesting.
They reimagined Kratos and the God of War franchise. It's not like the prior games. Whereas with Spider-Man, they did a great job of translating Spider-Man and making the Spider-Man mechanics and making a Spider-Man game. It's a perfect example of a game made off of an IP that's not a game IP done right. But I don't know if that makes it insanely creative. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I mean, at that point, you can also just look at it in terms of purely mechanical, how the game was designed. The gameplay itself was pretty interesting.
That's true, but I think that it was par for the course for a good Spider-Man game. Just in the nature of making a Spider-Man game, they were already restricted with the kind of creativity they were going to have, almost to some degree.
Yeah, I guess that's
but it's kind of like what you said about Red Dead, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is it's gonna be yeehaw. But with God of War, to change up how Kratos does Kratos is actually pretty creative.
But I think from a technological standpoint, Spider-Man was pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. Excuse me. Absolutely. I'm not saying Spider-Man didn't do some amazing stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. Does innovation count from a technical standpoint too?
Oh.
Because if you said innovation in a technical standpoint, because then Spider-Man is probably going to get over God of War. If it's just purely in a design standpoint, then yeah, God of War probably does it better.
And then if you start talking about technical, are you talking about visual technical? Are you talking about the I
mean, even visual technical Spider-Man is pretty nuts.
That's true, but I think that God of War was really beautiful. Really, really gorgeous. But that's just subjective. I don't really know how their tech under the hood works.
We'll just end on.
And Lily mentioned that Detroit was kind of. It had a lot of unfortunate feelings. Yeah, it's kind of okay.
I don't know. I watched a playthrough of it, and it seemed like a very okay game. I didn't really get blown away by it.
Yeah, it definitely strikes me as the kind of game that's designed for a certain kind of player.
Okay. Then next up is best narrative. That's self-explanatory. So I got Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, Marvel, Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2. And the winner was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Man, I haven't played any of these games.
So
Yeah, I
I have
haven't
not
played any
played
of
enough
these.
Red Dead to know whether it is or isn't, but I do think that the way that they handled cinematics was kind of beautiful. From what I saw, like they almost just meld into the game.
I haven't played like
But
I
I
haven't
agree with
played
Lily.
Spider-Man to know the narrative. Like I haven't played these like narrative is something you have to actually play the game to know.
I did play a little bit of Spider-Man, and they did a good job of interleaving their narrative as well. This was actually a hard year because the one thing that games have gotten substantially better at this year is how they fit their narrative into the mix of the game itself. A lot of it's in-engine, it's not cutscenes, it's getting like more and more, built into the experience.
I still think cutscenes can be cool though.
I mean, or I should say, there were some in-engine cutscenes, I should say, but like it was less like pre-rendered cutscenes. I'm not saying that that's bad, but what I'm saying is like the way they were telling narrative definitely was a step above where they were before in the past. They're really getting to the point where a lot of the game is like almost the whole game is made in the game engine, which is really cool.
Lily says playing Spider-Man PS4 was like playing a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, Lily
That was
said
good.
it was
Yeah.
better than a lot of Marvel movies, but that's probably not that hard.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, if you look at a lot of the Marvel movies, aren't that great? There's like 4 good Marvel movies.
Yep. Iron Man 1, Captain America 1.
Yeah, actually, okay, those weren't even the ones I was kind of okay. Let's see. I was going to say Infinity War,
I still
Doctor
haven't watched
Strange.
Doctor Strange is pretty good. Yeah.
The 2 Deadpool movies were funny. Like for comedy, they were good.
Ragnarok.
I've only
Thor
seen-
Ragnarok. I did
I
not
have
see
not
Thor
seen Thor
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. So I don't know.
Ragnarok was good. It was much better than the other 2 Thor movies.
I think the original Iron Man was good. My
Yeah,
problem with Marvel is they try to their dialogue is just too in your face.
Well, the thing I can't stand about the Marvel movies is that everything happens just in time. Like,
You know what I can't stand about Marvel movies?
Yeah.
They're Disney movies, and that means they use the exact same formula for every single one.
yeah, that's pretty true.
Because quite frankly, I look at the new Star Wars movies and I'm like, oh, I'm watching a Star Wars Marvel movie. No, really, that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm watching a Star Wars Marvel movie. Like all of the crappy tropes of Star Wars or of Marvel movies, the same format, it just feels like the same damn movie. And I'm just like, okay, well, it's just another superhero movie, which I don't think is what I felt like when I was watching prior to. Yeah, I've talked way too much to Lily about this. I'm so sorry, Lily. I'll stop talking about this, but it is interesting nonetheless that I mean, they know what makes money and they continue to do that over and over again.
Oh, that reminds. Okay, while we're talking the thing of film and like cinematics and stuff, dude, game trailers have been getting better and better like every year.
That is true. That is actually
have you
true.
seen the Mortal? Oh, did you see the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer? That was so fire. Like I don't even play Mortal Kombat, and that was
brutal. Yeah, that was a brutal trailer.
Like that's exactly what I expected from Mortal Kombat. Like,
yeah, I do have to admit that the people making.
Wait, just look. Wait, Matt, just look up the Mortal Kombat 11 trailer right now. It's so good. It's so like, it's just quintessentially Mortal Kombat. Yeah, but game trailers are just getting really good.
By the way, when we were talking about tribes, that was High Res Studios. I think that they're based out of Georgia.
High Res, I've heard of them.
High Res makes Smite. I think they make a game that is somewhat like Overwatch.
I feel like I've played a High Res game before.
You probably have. They actually make pretty good games.
Oh, Paladins. That's okay. Because I was like,
the one. That's the Overwatch-like game. Yep, that's the one.
Okay, because I downloaded Paladins recently to try it out, and then you said High Res, and I was like, oh, I've seen that logo before. Where have I seen it?
Yeah, and in all honesty, I played Smite, and I thought that was actually quite good. It actually rectified a lot of my issues, at least in the past. I don't know how it is now, but it rectified a lot of my issues with MOBAs. One of the big ones being that I don't really enjoy clicking to move. But yeah,
I like clicking to move just because it frees up your other hand.
I guess. I mean, the thing with clicking to move is I feel like you lose a certain degree of precision, oddly enough.
Dude, this is hella bloody. Holy shit.
Do you like the 21 Savage song in it?
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You know, so like that is just so Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we move on to the next topic then? Oh, this one we can probably do. Oh, this one's visuals. Okay, best art direction. Oh, okay, so this one encompasses technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
Nah, there we go. Okay, that makes sense.
So, and then it's also creative and or technical. So we got Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Octopath Traveler. I've never heard of that. Red Dead Redemption 2, and Return of Obra Dinn, which is the one that won it. I've never heard of it, but it won.
Yeah, so I kept hearing about Return of Obra Dinn, but I hadn't actually played it. I will say,
I've never even heard of it.
Like, the one thing I will say about Return of Obra Dinn is if you look at it, its visual style is actually kind of stunning and cool. Like, it immediately sticks out to you as like, wow, that looks pretty amazing.
Okay, let me just look at the
by the way, did my camera decide to start working yet?
Nope, I can't see either you or Matt. I don't know if Matt's even trying.
Oh yeah, I am. That's weird.
Work, please. I want people to see me for a few seconds.
Okay, I just restarted it.
Okay, so I'm watching game. Okay, I don't know. I don't like the art. I like it's unique. It's not my taste.
Fair enough, but it definitely, like, if you put that up against any game from this year, you would be able to stick your finger out and say, I've never seen that before.
That's true. That is very true.
Like, and that's why I think it deserves that. I don't even
like. Okay, funnily enough, it feels like stylistically it's trying to look like an older game, but it's actually probably harder to render it like this.
Oh yeah, that's an impressive shader is what it is.
Yeah,
they spent some time writing shaders. That's like someone did shader code for too long.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that game's built in Unity from looking at it. I think it's an indie title.
I can just look up what engine it's in.
I'm actually doing it right now.
Unity.
Unity, bam. Yeah, I can just tell when I look at a game. It's weird. Like, shaders look a certain way when they're written in Unity, and Unity's renderer looks a certain way. Unreal's the same way. The way its lighting works.
Yep.
Like, even when you throw post-processing on it, everything you can do to it, there's still just certain giveaways as to the fact that you're looking at a specific engine. Like, I think you can pretty much tell when you're looking at CryEngine in most cases too.
Okay, CryEngine has a distinct look just because the renders are so good. Or like at least a game that's made well with CryEngine, because you can look at that and be like, no other engine can output that.
That's true. But it's also apparently that engine was basically shoestrings and glue. Like, really? Yeah, because so they Crytek almost went under, or Crytek, was that the name of the company?
Yeah, Crytek.
Yeah. Crytek almost went under from terrible management. And the only thing that saved the company was that Amazon came in and basically bought the engine or licensed the engine indefinitely. And that's how we got Lumberyard, because Lumberyard is just a fork of CryEngine.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so, yeah, okay, honestly, in terms of best art direction, I'd say this is a good winner. Like, I don't particularly like the art style, but just in terms of, like, a technical feat, that's actually really cool.
I definitely think that it definitely has it has an interesting style.
Yeah. You want to move on to the next one then?
Sure. I mean, yeah, sounds fine with me.
What? Matt, did you say something?
Oh, no, I just said sure. It's unfortunate because I don't know all these new games. So
okay, let's go. Best score / music. Oh, and it's presented by Spotify.
Nice.
Okay, so let's see. We got Celeste, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Octopath Traveler, and Red Dead Redemption 2. And the winner was Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know any of the OSTs, so I can't say anything on this one.
I watched my brother play Octopath Traveler for about 5 minutes. Music was pretty good.
You know, honestly, I think I've heard the music for most of those games, and all of them are good. Choosing a best is subjective. It's like, I like this genre of music and the way that this was executed, I think would influence your decision more there than which was objectively the best. That's kind of hard. Unless you were like an expert in actually in like
Wait,
in musical composition.
Wait, Octopath Traveler looks hella nice.
Oh,
It's
dude,
like,
it does. It does.
It's like a 2D style with a 3D shader. I don't know how they pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have that game. It's really cool. It's a neat game. They did some interesting stuff there.
But yeah, I don't know anything about music, so you guys will have to inform me on this one.
I think that leaves. I know music from a technical. Like I'm starting to like understand music over time from a technical perspective of like how it is as data, but I couldn't tell you from a composition perspective if it's good or not. So let's just call that a skip.
Just skip the music one.
Yeah, we're gonna skip the music one because we're just gonna be I feel like we're just gonna throw a bunch of uneducated opinions at it.
Yeah.
And we didn't play most of the games, and we don't really know music well enough to talk about it.
Okay, then do you want to skip the next one too? It's best audio design.
Audio design. Okay, probably we didn't play those games, so we probably can't talk about it.
Yeah,
But audio design's a little different because audio design is about the way like design cues in the game work. Those are actually game designery things, and that's stuff we could talk about if
No, it could also be like a technical thing about like how the overall like sound is actually transmitted and the overall effects that you can layer on them. And
yeah, so I could actually we could have a conversation about that, but I can't talk about the other one.
Because I haven't played any of these games, so I don't know how their audio design is.
Which games are on that list?
Oh yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Forza Horizon 4, God of War, Spider-Man, and then Red Dead Redemption 2. And the winner was Red Dead.
Yeah, I was actually worried this was going to be the Red Dead Awards when I was watching it, because I'm like, man, no one's winning aside from Red Dead. But like, it turned out that Red Dead didn't win the whole thing, which was actually almost pleasant. But like, honestly, Red Dead did have good music from what I've heard and sound design. But actually, that it might deserve sound design, to be honest with you.
I've never
because it's like got a lot of auditory cues. I've only played like an hour or two of it on a friend's PlayStation, but even from what I played, sound cues and all the auditory stuff was really good.
I will say though, a game I do play that has really good auditory cue, or I think it's getting better. I feel like if they fixed all the small bugs with the audio system, it would be like one of the best. But it's like just good right now is PUBG. PUBG's audio system is like the auditory.
Is PUBG nominated?
No, it's not nominated. But I'm just talking about it because I've played it.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. No, that's cool.
Yeah, because I think people I don't know. In Fortnite, do you actually have to listen to sound? Like, how important is sound in Fortnite?
I don't play enough Fortnite to tell you, but I know I listen for sound in Overwatch, and it's actually important if you really want to hear or like actually be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah, no, because PUBG, it's like life or death is sound.
Yeah,
sound is like as important as visuals in PUBG, which is why I think the audio cues are so good. Because you can like pinpoint like not only who is shooting, but you can pinpoint like pretty much where they're shooting from, like how they're shooting at each other and what guns they're using.
Huh.
And then you can also listen for footsteps pretty well too. Like all kinds of audio cues, like opening doors, breaking windows, footsteps, just using items. All of that you can use to listen for people nearby you. And then the gunshots from like really far away are like you can get a lot of information just from them.
Yeah, from the little Fortnite I played, well, little, but I remember it wasn't that big of a deal because mostly you could just sidestep the whole game and everyone kills each other, and then you can get into like the top 10.
Oh, well, PUBG has that problem too.
Okay.
No, PUBG has that problem on some maps. Some maps you cannot get away with that.
But I mean that's a fundamental design, like, I don't want to say flaw, because I think it's actually part of what makes the games kind of endearing to some degree is that you can use different strategies to win. But like it is part of the strategies of battle royales. Just knowing when to hide.
But until you get into like the intense combat or like squad tactics a little bit of that, then audio isn't really that big of a deal. But when you get to like those, I was gonna say when you get to those like skirmishes, it becomes a big deal. So anyway, sorry, go on.
Because Fortnite, from what I've seen, it replaced a lot of the audio cues with visual cues. Like when you hit something or get hit, it actually shows the number like floating around.
Yeah.
And then when you like when like a structure is taking damage, you can visibly see it.
Yeah.
So like I think a lot of the audio cues that PUBG has are replaced with visual cues in Fortnite.
Okay.
That's an interesting point. So. Now, what about Fork Knife?
Oh,
Fork Knife?
Yeah. The classic.
Yep. The breakfast battle royale.
Okay.
All right. What's
the next topic?
Yeah, we can go to the next one.
Best performance for voice acting or voiceover acting, motion and/or performance capture. Okay. These are Brian Deckhart as Connor, Detroit Become Human, Christopher Judge as Kratos, God of War, Milisanthi Mahut as Cassandra, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan, Red Dead Redemption 2, and then Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker in Spider-Man. And then the winner was Roger Clark for Red Dead Redemption 2. Once again, the problem is I haven't played these games, so I don't know how good the acting is.
Yeah, the Peter Parker acting was pretty darn good. I also think that that one guy from Detroit was actually a really good actor. Played that part exceptionally well. Can't really say about Red Dead in all honesty.
Yeah, I can't say it. Once again, I cannot say anything. I feel so bad. I can't say anything on any of these games.
You know, I hate to say this, but this year it felt like the PlayStation Awards.
So like, the point wasn't to pick something that they've already. Sorry, I was listening to myself. The point is that you don't have to pick something that they've already put on the list. If you have an alternative option from a game, you were each. So obviously I wasn't here, but the point was you were each supposed to pick a game that you would have selected, and it didn't have to necessarily be the best one. It could just be the best one for you.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, so we were looking at the categories, not the games in them.
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone the categories and been like, okay, so these are what they thought were good, and then I completely disagree or something like that.
To be fair,
did you guys get to like best? To
be fair, the best games I've played in 2018 were games made or released in 2017.
I've played one game that's made in 2018, and that was Battlefield 5.
2018 has been a dull year for gaming. Like, in all honesty, I can't think of a game that released this year that I was excited about.
Okay. Instead of just 2018, how about we say it can go up to? We have to keep it fairly recent, so we'll say like 2014.
I mean, honestly, I bet you there's some indie gems out there that I haven't seen under the sea of games being released on Steam.
Okay, fine. Let's go. What's your best performance game in a game that came out 2014 or later?
Okay.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, 2014 is too soon. How about 2017? Let's just talk about 2017, 2018. Name a game from 2017.
I don't know. There haven't been that many. What 2017 games are there?
2017 had a lot of good releases. I can name
Fortnite,
at least a game
PUBG, Destiny 2, Super Mario Odyssey, Horizon Zero.
Like the only game I've played recently is Devil May Cry.
Was that a recent Devil May Cry?
Relatively recent.
Okay, how about we go? Okay, I think if we go 2016, it'll be a little better.
Honestly, maybe instead of doing game awards at all, we should just talk about the games we've been playing in the last year or two, and just talk about what we thought was good and what we didn't.
No, let's use the categories from Game Awards. Okay, let's do 2016. 2016 has a good, like 2016 to 2018 is like a pretty wide selection of games.
You had to choose 2016. All right, so Doom won all the categories.
Hey, I finally see you.
Yay.
Let's go best performance then for voice acting, motion, or performance capture.
Because our glorious leader was absent for
Because we've not played anything in 2018. That's why, like anything new in 2018.
That's why I said 26. We'll do 2016 to 2018. That's like a pretty big variety of games.
Okay, I'm going to restrict myself just to 2017 because there were some good games.
I played two games recently. One's Devil May Cry, which came out in 2013, and then the other is Total War Warhammer, which is probably 20.
Okay, then the next one is next topic is games for impact. What's your choice then, guys? For it has a profound pro-social meaning or message.
Oof, oof.
You know, I don't want to say it has a pro-social meaning, but it definitely tackles like existence pretty effectively. I'd give Nier Automata from 2017.
Oh, I was gonna say Horizon Zero Dawn.
I didn't unfortunately play enough of Zero Dawn to know what it's.
What? Yeah, I'm going down.
He actually hit the randomizer button up at the top.
Doesn't matter though. Yeah.
But
Kevin, can you imagine if George Washington had sailed the opposite direction across the river?
I have no control here. Don't worry about this.
I'm totally kidding, by the way, Kevin.
Best caster, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. Wait, the bottom is content creator of the year.
Oh wait. Yeah, wait. No.
No, start a best esports moment.
Everyone, my friends, I know who the best content creator of the year was, though.
That was awesome.
SJSU Game Dev Club.
Yeah.
SJSU Game Dev Club. Right there.
Oh, wait, so are we going to best multiplayer game? Or best esports? Why are we skipping so many of these categories? Okay, fine. Best multiplayer game. But there's best student game, best indie game.
Game you wish would release on the Switch. Mario Maker. Aww.
Like, are we choosing from this list, or are we just saying in general? Wait, hold on, I need to pull up a list of 2017 games.
Or if you were in college for the last 4 years and then you joined the workforce and you haven't played games since 2014.
That's all the multiplayer games I've played haven't come out recently. Hey, that didn't come out in 2017.
I am very sad, by the way, about the news about Heroes. That makes me sad. Just saying.
I'm just gonna say League. Because I don't know. I haven't played any like.
That's like best ongoing game, right? Wait, is that best on?
It has a new season every year. Fine.
Is that best ongoing game? Best ongoing game. Because there's a category for best ongoing game.
There was a category.
That's a category. I think you should hold it for that.
Okay.
What was the category we're on?
The category we're on is best multi. Okay. Battlefield 5.
Wow.
Okay, fair. But I mean, no. What I understand is there's a separate category for ongoing games. So if we're going to do specifically,
you know I know what game I'm giving best multiplayer game.
What?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, for the balloon hunt thing, or like
no,
for those like mini games?
You can. One person can play as Cappy while you're playing.
Oh no! But the category specifically says online multiplayer.
Oh, my bad. Never mind.
I've never played that game, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm still going Battlefield 5 just because I've been playing it so much, and it's so fun.
There was a game in 2017 I really loved.
Because Ring of Elysium and PUBG are very neck and neck for a battle royale game that I would like. But then, for just terms of general shooters, Battlefield 5 is like above and beyond everything else. Even though it's like super buggy, it's so fun to play.
You know, I have not played that many recent release multiplayer games, but I kind of played a little For Honor and thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, For Honor was pretty cool, but it wasn't like running well on my computer.
Were really cool. Their mechanics are really cool. I mean, the problem is, I just realized something. For all of these game devs who are talking about, or for all these publishers and stuff who are talking about how dead single player is, I can't name a single game from 2017 I liked that was a multiplayer game that came out in 2017. I also can't do the same thing for 2018. The last good multiplayer.
Are you talking about multiplayer games?
Yeah, isn't that what we were talking about?
Okay, no, yeah, because there are plenty of multiplayer games that came out in 2017.
Yes, but I can't name a good one. No, I mean, I'm honestly like, I'm struggling to find one that's.
Let's see. Okay, let's see.
That wasn't crippled by microtransactions or like. I mean, 2017 had Destiny 2, but that came out in shambles. You could say Fortnite if you wanted to talk about Fortnite or PUBG. Yeah, you can make those arguments.
Ring of Elysium came out this year, so.
But wow, like kind of
a lot of these games I've just never heard of.
Kind of like a dead year. I mean, there's probably an indie game that would make me very happy from 2017 for multiplayer. Fortunately, it's super hard to find anything you like.
Oh yeah, 2017 actually was a dead year. Wait.
For multiplayer, it was a beautiful year for single player. Like 2017, I can name like 10 games from 2017 with single player that I enjoyed.
But 2016, just like every game I'm looking at, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I know this, and it's pretty popular.
2016 was a good year, really good year. 2017 was actually a pretty good year too. 2018 has been like.
2018's been very hit or miss.
4 good single player games and a couple of decent platformers, and that's like saying something. So the game that won, we were talking about Impact before, but the game that won Impact was Celeste, and I have not played much of Celeste. I played like first little bit, but I've heard that it's like absolutely wonderful.
Okay, if we're going back to years, 2019 looks like it's gonna have some really good games.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Because you got DMC5, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro. I think the Call of Cthulhu game is coming out 2019.
I feel like next year is going to be the year of the third-person action game.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Well, that's kind of what it's looking like.
Oh, apparently there's a World War Z game coming out. Oh, Ace Combat 7? What?
Wait, didn't I hear that that Titanfall's getting a third game?
Is it really?
I think it is.
Carla, do you know anything about that? Okay.
I'll Google it. Hey, Carlo. By Carlo, I mean Google. I will find out for you.
Okay, wait. Anyway, we should get back to the topic. So.
Yeah, my bad.
Next one is best sports/racing game. I don't play sports or racing games. What's your favorite sports?
Favorite sports or racing game? Probably Quap.
Yeah, Quap is my favorite. I'm trying to think, what sports or racing games have I ever played? I played ATV Off-Road Fury when I was younger. I played like NBA 2K and FIFA when I was younger.
Crosscode looks pretty cool, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I can't think. Oh,
what like to say about that game? Sorry.
Andrew, do you have a best sports/racing game?
Mario Kart. All years, every year. I don't like sports or racing games much, but Rage was actually kind of fun back in the day. It's a long time ago. People always said it was bad.
Wait, when did the Bigs 2 come out? That game was so fun. Oh, that came out in 2009. Never mind, that was a long time ago. That game was so fun. Okay, let's just go to the next category then. Best strategy game.
Yo.
Ooh, 2017 strategy games.
God. See, this was just any time I would instantly just go Civ 4.
Civ is pretty good.
You know,
okay,
is it just me, or was there like almost not a single strategy 2017.
I'm gonna say. Wait, didn't Paradox release something recently?
Is that a strategy game?
That's not strategy.
Oh, I know what game I would give. I know what game I'd give it. Honestly.
Okay, but I don't think that's what they were going for with.
There's a second Total War Warhammer, Matt. If that's a game to give it to, but the game I'd give it to is Into the Breach.
Into the
I think that's the one that actually won it. Yeah, Into the Breach is the one that won it.
Yeah, but I'd give it to that game.
Yeah.
I've played a little of Into the Breach, not enough to give it to say that I've played the whole game, but I've also played FTL, which was made by the same dev, and the game is amazing. Yeah, that's a strategy game.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Turn-based strategy. Card games are basically just turn-based strategy.
That's fair.
Or asynchronous or turn-based card. You know what game I would like to give it to, but I didn't get to play it. So it's a game I wanted to love, but unfortunately didn't have money to buy at the time. And I'm sure probably would have been a great game. Was Halo Wars 2. Because I really loved the first Halo Wars, and I feel like I missed out by not playing the second one. 2017. 17. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably an unsung classic. I bet it's probably a great game, to be honest. Because Halo Wars, the first one, was one of the best RTS I've ever played. And yes, I know it had less depth than some, but it was really, really refined and really quite beautiful. It's a good game.
Yeah, all the strategy games I've ever played have come out before 2005. So
yeah, I don't know which if you've played RTSs, which ones you've played and which ones you like. But one of the things that really if you've never played Halo Wars or Halo, I can't speak for Halo Wars 2, but if you've never played Halo Wars, the first one, I think it's a must play, even if you just play the campaign. It really, they managed to make an RTS that works with a controller and doesn't feel like, wow, I wished I was using a mouse and keyboard. And that's saying a lot to its design, in my opinion.
Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one's best family game.
Content filter.
I've never what?
No, it's
is that an actual game or are you just talking about a
that
content?
Probably is actually. It's probably a game. Let's see. Content filter game. Oh yeah, the Steam content filter. Yep, that's the game.
My favorite game is Mortal Kombat 11. My favorite family game.
Yeah, what? I don't know anything about family game. Mario Odyssey. I'd give it to Mario Odyssey.
Huh.
Yeah, I'd give it to Mario Odyssey.
The one that actually won was Overcooked 2.
That probably deserved it.
And then the other ones the other ones were Mario Tennis Ace, Nintendo Labo, Starlink Battle for Atlas, and Super Mario Party.
You know, I've got to say, I have not played the most recent Mario Party. I played one a couple times ago, and it was abysmal compared to the older ones. Frustratingly abysmal.
I think the one
had 5 people on on a moving rail all together, and it was just bad. But I don't know. I can't say that they couldn't have released a better release. I'd like to actually see the new one.
I think the one time I played Mario Party was that time when we were playing it during streaming.
Which Mario Party is the one that you're talking about? What was it called?
I'm pretty sure it was Carlo. Were you the one that brought it? Is Carlo even here?
He's occasionally here.
Okay. So
was it Super Mario Party?
I don't. I have no idea. I just played.
No, the one that you just read off was that Super.
That was Super Mario Party. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to see. I want to see some gameplay of Super Mario Party because I will admit one of my very favorite games when friends were over was the old Mario Party games. But after 3, I kind of struggled to love them because they just weren't good.
Okay, then the next category is best fighting game. What do you guys think?
Best fighting game?
Yeah.
The only fighting game I played recently was Fighters. Or Dragon Ball Z Fighters. I guess Dragon Ball Fighters. Not bad. Pretty good.
That was actually the one.
Oh, really?
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah.
Lily likes Mario Party on Switch.
Fighters was pretty good. I wanted to play BlazBlue because I had a friend who played a lot of that, but I haven't played that much.
The only fighting game I play is Smash. I don't even like
Smash. Yeah, Smash is a staple.
Yeah, Carlo's the one who would know all about fighting games.
Okay, you know what fighting game I'd want to give it to, but I have not played also because that seems to be the trend of like I don't have money.
Yeah.
The game I want to like, I think I would like because I really have liked those games in the past, and it looks like they did the game justice. Is Soul Calibur.
Is that a fighting game? I thought it was a strategy game.
What? No, that's a fighting game. That's
okay, wait, I know literally nothing about Soul Calibur then.
Soul Calibur's like it's a lot like Tekken or Mortal Kombat, except everything is swords. But it's basic.
Well, okay, I think that the mechanics are a lot better than Tekken or Mortal Kombat, and it's a lot more like, and it has a story mode, which is really fun. Usually, it's a fighting game that people who don't play fighting games can enjoy, kind of like Smash Bros.
Soul Calibur's sick. I love Soul Calibur.
I like Soul Calibur a lot.
And I suck.
Oh wait, there was one game I played that was a fighting. Oh, it was like Blade Dance or something. No.
Oh, are you talking about Blade Symphony?
No, I don't think it's called. Wait, maybe it was called Blade Symphony.
Okay, because Blade Symphony started as a great idea.
Symphony of the Night.
And then apparently it went to shit, and now everyone hates Blade Symphony. And now it's literally 50 cents. It used to be $10.
What is that?
50 cents.
Yeah, it's literally 50 cents. It became free to play for a while.
Oh, why did they change to 50 cents?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I think it was Blade Symphony. What happened to Blade Symphony?
Blade Symphony used to be so good. Apparently, it used to be such a great game.
How do you mess a game up that bad?
I have no idea.
That is mind blowing.
Even like the gameplay looks sick. Like just the
what is it that people are hating about it? It's probably just loaded it with microtransactions and dropped the price.
I think they did.
Yep. Ruin good games with crappy content. Yay! All right. Well,
half of the reviews are saying it's too dead to even get in any games.
Uh-oh.
If that's the reason, that's actually kind of a stupid reason. As long as you can you can actually queue or like, what am I trying to say? Like LAN against your friends. As long as you don't have to use their servers. Like this could be, if the gameplay is really fun, I'd be totally down to have a game like for LAN parties, especially at 50 cents. You know?
Yeah.
I remember. I don't think I ever. Or no. Maybe I did play it. I forgot.
I brought it once to the club, and I think we might have played a little bit of it.
Because I feel like I've played Blade Symphony before. I just don't remember it very well. No,
okay.
That's a shame.
So what's our next category, friends?
Next, best RPG.
Best RPG.
Ooh.
Oh, yo, if we're going back to 2016, I'm gonna have to go with Dark Souls 3. You know it.
No surprise. Oh, Divinity. Yeah, Divinity. I think that's Carlo's vote, since Carlo was yelling Divinity at the top of his lungs.
Divinity.
He loved when you said that.
Played Divinity, and I probably would give it to Divinity if I'd played Divinity, but I've not played Divinity. So I'm actually going to also give that to Nier Automata, because I think that game had pretty good RPG mechanics, and it was fairly simple.
The actual winner was Monster Hunter World.
Oh, there you go, Monster Hunter World. I thought they won a category. That's good. I'm glad that they did. Good for them. Game actually was pretty good according to a lot of my friends, and I occasionally trust their judgment.
Okay, the next one up, best action adventure.
Ooh, action adventure. Well, if it's 2017, it's Breath of the Wild.
I don't want to say Dark Souls 3 again, so I'm trying to find something different.
You could say Breath of the Wild. No,
I haven't played Breath of the Wild. I'll say Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh no! Wait! Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight. Oh my god! How can I forget Hollow Knight?
Yeah. I know a lot of people. I did not actually get to play it, so I cannot say anything about it. Literally nothing. I haven't even seen any gameplay of it. So
Hollow Knight is like definitely way up there in my favorite games. When did Ori and the Blind Forest? Ori and the Blind Forest not really.
They had they had a sequel, I think, recently, didn't they?
It hasn't come out yet, I don't think. It was 2015. Ori and the Will of the Wisp comes out next year. Oh my god, I need so much money. Like, there's so many 2019.
Dude, I know, I'm so broke, and there are so many things I want to buy right now.
Let's see. The only game I bought this year was Battlefield 5. Let's see.
You know, the sad truth is that if I had a PlayStation, there were like 4 titles I wanted to play this year, but I don't have one.
I have a PlayStation, but I don't know. I only buy exclusives, and none of the exclusives like recently seemed that great. Except Spider-Man.
God of War was really good. Red Dead was apparently
Red Dead, that's right. But Red Dead's coming to PC eventually, isn't it?
Well, and they won't say so.
Oh.
You know, they want to get you to buy a PlayStation. Yes, it's going to come to PC, and if it doesn't, they're not going to get a sale out of me.
Yeah, I'm not buying that for PlayStation.
I'm not buying a console to play that. I also
the thing is, I have a console. I'm not going to buy it for the console. I'd rather wait until it comes on PC.
Fair enough. I really wish like okay, the games that I wish that were on PlayStation that would come to PC are yeah, that's actually one of them. That is really one of them. Yeah, Bloodborne,
Horizon.
Horizon was actually a really big release that I wanted to play really badly and didn't have a console for it. And that other one I just said, which I'm just not going to repeat. So we'll continue on.
Anyway, so for 2019 games that I want to get, let's say the Sekiro. There's the Call of Cthulhu game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Are there any other games? Ace Combat 7. I think that's it.
Does anyone else have a game for RPG for the last 2 years?
No, we're on action adventure now.
RPG I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry, action adventure. Matt, do you have an action adventure?
Action adventure. Off the top of my head, like, gosh, I can check my Steam library. Let's see. I actually have my Steam library broken down by categories.
But did you play an action adventure game in the last 2 years?
I should actually sort them.
I played a tiny bit of Tomb Raider. Oh shit, that came out in 2014. Man, time is passing so fast.
Dude, I know. You're old.
Matt's gonna like go to sleep and wake up and be 40 years old.
Dude.
Dude. He's gonna have a beard, and his beard's gonna have a beard, and his beard is recursively gonna have a beard.
That's how old I am.
Beard cursion.
Let's see. I played a bit of. Wait, no, that's not action adventure. That's an FPS.
Actually, I think FPS kind of falls in that category. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the FPS.
Okay, I played a little bit of Metro Last Light, but I know that's like hella old. Well, it's not hella old. They did a Redux, but that's probably like 2012.
When we get to narrative, I know what game I'm going for.
Lily game, an action adventure game. Lilith.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man? Was that the one that won? No, the one that won was God of War.
Yo, I have Dark Souls? That's cool.
Wait, you have Dark Souls? Dude, I have Dark Souls? I don't think I have Dark Souls.
Actually, it might be for
I don't have a single Soulsborne series game.
I have the entire... Oh, no, I don't have Demon's Souls.
I really want them, but they just never get to that price point I want to pay. Just never quite there.
Dark Souls is like $15.
Exactly. They never hit $5. That's the only price I can afford.
Selling Dark Souls for $5 is a crime.
Selling any game for less than $15 to some degree is a crime. We should get rid of free to play as a model.
No.
Like I used to not feel that way, and then now that with the glut of free to play games with microtransactions, which basically means not free to play, it means infinite.
Yeah, I mean, there are games that do free to play well though,
but they'd do better if they weren't. Like I can't think of a game that has.
If League was not free to play, it would be way worse.
Well, they wouldn't have as much money to invest in it, sure.
Yeah, but I think it would be way worse.
I feel mixed about that. If League of Legends let you have every champion at the start of the game, or like when you started playing, I think it would be a better game for it.
Oh, you know what's a good fighting game?
What's that?
Skullgirls.
I've not played that.
That's pretty good.
You know, I still do not have a problem with League not giving you like a lot of MOBAs don't do that. Like I don't mind that because partially it can be very overwhelming to start a game with over 120 characters.
Yeah, I don't buy it. Nope.
No, but also like I don't know. It's never been an issue.
Because it's never been an issue because you're conditioned to accept it.
No, but I mean, even when I was starting to play, I never really had an issue with it. I was like, okay, that's just how it is.
Yeah, I would feel a lot better about it if you couldn't pay real money to unlock those characters.
Lily says she just bought 4 Divinity games.
Okay, I mean, okay, I guess you can.
She called it free to launch.
But I mean, the first thing pretty much everyone tells you is do not do that.
Yeah, but regardless of whether they tell you that or not, I think it's still ridiculous that you can. Because I think that is a form of pay to win. Especially if you're buying the most recent champion on release, because they're almost always broken.
No.
At least that was the model that they had for a while. They may release weak champions now, but it used to be how it was.
No, the last 2 champions they released are pretty strong, but they've released I would say on average when on release champions are really bad.
Okay, well it wasn't always like that. For a very long time it was the other way.
Here's a star example of an arena game for you guys.
Dude, this looks cool.
This game's actually
crustaceans.
Oh, dude, that hermit crab, dude, that's my man.
King of the crustaceans.
What is this?
Oh, dude, it's that lobster. What is that thing? The thing that punches things. Dude, it's the punching lobster. Dude.
Oh, the shrimp.
So funny. You select these different crustaceans, just battle to the death, and like you can rip limbs off each other.
Dude, that punchy lobster, that's like if Doomfist were a lobster. He goes up and punches people. Like,
if you go about halfway into the video, dude,
I'm not gonna lie, this game looks amazing, Matt. Where'd you find this?
My buddy got it for me as a joke gift a couple of years back, and like, cause he loved this game and he loves all this quirky games, and the game actually turned out to be pretty good.
No, this game looks amazing.
It's actually pretty sick, yeah.
This is a top tier game right here. By the way, stream, for those of you who cannot see the things Matt is just linking us randomly and not talking about.
That's fair.
He linked us Neo Aquarium, King of the Crustaceans.
Yeah, man.
This is amazing.
Okay, wait, let's get back to the categories. So what was the next one? Next one is best act. Okay, so we went from action adventure to just straight action.
I enjoy hack and slashes, and they just released Darksiders 3, which I still have to beat 2, but it's getting really good reviews, and I'm sure it's probably follows that it's pretty kick-ass. So
I don't think I play any just like pure action games. I'm trying to think.
Pure action? I'll just list hack and slash under that. I don't know what else. I guess like Bullet Hells. Fury is a really good pure action game.
Well, okay, one of the ones they listed was Black Ops 4, so I'm gonna say Battlefield 5.
That's like, I guess that's action. Yeah. Did I show you Fury before, Kevin?
I feel like you have. I heard of it.
Okay, probably have. Here, I'll link Fury.
Is it F-U-R-I?
Yeah, there you
go. Okay. It was an action game?
Yeah.
And we're back after that really short break that I'm certain was short. Best action game. The nominees nominated by the Game Awards are Call of Duty, Black Ops 4, Dead Cells, Destiny 2, Forsaken, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man 11!
Oh.
And the winner, according to them, is Dead Cells, which I'm actually pretty for, because it's honestly the most original action game there.
It's kind of just like Dark Souls, isn't it?
It's 2D Dark Souls.
You know, to be fair, Destiny has a pretty decent game. They actually do have a pretty decent game.
I will agree with that, but I also don't think it's that original. because Destiny
It
1
didn't say
exists.
original. It said best action game.
Yes, but I like to award games for being explorative of the genre.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to point out that each of us could just have a different pick. We don't have to agree.
Let's say if we were going with like just discussing the picks they had, I'm not necessarily choosing, but like, because we were just choosing from the last 2 years, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
well, I'm trying to find the list with all the games.
To discuss their pick in particular, or discuss that in particular, I think the thing that scares me most about choosing a game like Destiny is that Destiny is more a moving target than anything on that list. Like, and it's worth pointing out that games have become such a moving target that it's hard to know what you're actually getting when you vote or buy for it.
We'll just say the game as it is exactly right now.
Then it probably deserves an award because they actually did improve the game a lot. But
if I were to actually pick something, I would probably pick Hitman 2 for this one.
Hitman 2.
I'm still a huge advocate for Hitman 2 because they did an amazing job with improving the mechanics of the original game, making the levels a lot more interesting, but it still has that hint of Saint Row-ness in it, where you can be zany, but you can also just be a spy or a hitman, I guess, in the best way.
Action game of 2017.
Wait, last 2 years, right? Or is it last? So it's 2016 to 2018?
We did 2016, 2017, 2018. At least you guys.
I had personally limited myself to 2017, 2018. Is how that was working for me.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to look up the list.
Okay. I'll go on about Hitman 2 a little bit more if you guys don't want to.
Please.
I'm gonna refrain from saying Dark Souls 3 for everything.
No, yes, I remember you did do that.
You are allowed to say it for one category if you really want
of course.
to.
Game of the Year, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, okay,
even though it came out in 2016. The reason that I liked Hitman 2 a lot is because the levels are very replayable. Aside from being multiple paths, there are now specific objective ways to kill your target. Before they were kind of embedded and you kind of had to suss them out on your own, but now that they're not more scripted, but they're a lot more guiding to the player to find these special ways to kill the target. It's a lot more interesting and kind of a lot more fun to find them and find out all these scenarios. Or you could just straight up just like shoot a chandelier and drop it on their head like halfway across the map and then just run away.
Oh, okay. Well, I know what I'm giving this one to. I'm moving to Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's a good one.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Because the combat in that game was super fun. I haven't even finished. I need to finish it. God.
You know what? How about a VR game?
That's another category, but sure.
Well, it can still be the best action game.
It's true. What are you dropping for?
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me make sure I get the name right.
Okay.
Because there are 2 games made by the same developer that have similar or that have similar names because they're part of the same franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But there's Echo Combat and Echo Arena. I've only played one of the 2, but it's basically like it kind of is reminiscent of have you ever seen or read Ender's Game?
Is that the one where they pilot ships, but then they realize that they're actual people inside the ships or something?
Yeah, that's the one. But so in the beginning of Ender's Game, they spend a lot of time doing these games, like in these simulations.
Ender's Game, yeah.
In basically 0G, and so what the Echo game is like is kind of like that. You're in VR, but it's like it feels like you're in 0G. It's really cool, but that's probably one of the best competitive games I've played in the last, like, competitive action games. Though that not the best story driven. Man, I had a big list from 2017. I don't know where it went. 2017 was a really good year. 2018 has been a really hard year for me.
I would agree. Lily, do you have your pick for action game?
What are the choices again?
You
anything you want.
Yes, you
Oh,
just
anything I want.
action game.
Not really.
Yep, there were no good action games for Lily. Okay. So Andrew, yours would be Echo Arena?
Let's give it to Echo Arena. I mean, it's cool to give it or Echo Combat, one of the two. It's good to get spread the love a little bit.
And
put
Kevin,
a game on the list.
Kevin's is Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn's a great game too.
Right.
I mean, and you could very well have given it to Zelda from last year.
Best. Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, go ahead.
Best VR/AR game for the best game experience playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Astrobot Rescue Mission, Beat Saber, Firewall Zero Hour, Moss, The Tetris Effect. And the winner was Astrobot. I've never heard of this game.
Yeah, I heard it was good. I've not played it. So
wait a second, where's Mariana?
It was a write-in ballot. Write-in vote.
Okay. I actually can give 2 nominees for this category.
It's a PSVR game.
Tetris Effect. Really good. I imagine the reason a PSVR game won, and take this with a grain of salt, but PSVR is the platform with the highest adoption in VR right now.
Sorry, where does the VR come into this game? I'm very confused.
That's a good question.
I'm looking at this and it's a platformer. Do you play as what? Oh, okay. So I see. You use you're not the character. You're literally sitting there just watching the character do things, and you're controlling the character from a third-person perspective in VR.
That's actually cool because third-person games in VR are something that people are not tackling as often because I think people don't feel as comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, VR definitely lends more to the first person, I think, naturally, which, by the way, is freaking cool.
It kind of looks like they're taking advantage of the fact that they have that, that you kind of have an interesting perspective.
Also, a more technical problem is if you're in third person, your camera doesn't rotate around itself; it rotates around your player character. So you have a different point of rotation.
No. It's as if you're sitting down in one place and you're just watching the character kind of run around you.
Is it free cam?
I can't it seems like
I'm not saying for this game specifically. I'm saying that's in general why people don't do traditional third person.
It's all camera stuff. You're right. It's absolutely all camera stuff. That's why you don't see a lot of VR 3D.
No, I kind of agree with Andrew on this one. This seems like a really cool game. I just don't want to I was expecting it at first to be kind of just Mario, but you sit there. But they do some interesting stuff with the PS controller too.
Okay, so bear with me because VR is obviously a category I develop in and I like a lot. Mm-hmm. There are some really good games that we could talk about for VR. It's actually VR is hard because there are so many cool and innovative games happening in that space right now. Obviously, Tetris Effect was a really cool title last year. I don't know if you guys have not seen Tetris Effect, that's a must. Just take a look at that. Even though, yes, it's basically just Tetris in VR, it's really pretty. It's a good example of what you can do with 2D in VR. I'll let you guys do your other picks because I forgot my 2.
Beat Saber.
See, okay, that's interesting because it's funny because Beat Saber's obviously garnered a lot of attention this year. I think that if you're just trying to be fair, it's actually interesting that music games tend to be some of the most successful.
You literally can't change my mind because I played 30 hours of that.
I'm not trying to change your mind. No, I think it's interesting. Think about it. Tetris Effect is kind of music. It has a music element too, a big music element. It's really interesting that's a big thing. It's that synesthesia type effect. Just trying my phone.
Lily, would yours be Job Simulator?
No, actually.
Ooh, what is it?
There was this one game that I saw this guy play.
Is it the cat one?
I think it's like in early access right now, but like I don't remember the name of it, but I'm pretty sure I can look it up.
Kevin, is yours Mariana?
Yeah, it's called Blade
mine
and
is
Sorcerer.
Mariana.
Okay. Kevin picks Mariana and Lily picked Blade and Sorcerer. Is that the one by Insomniac?
Wait,
I pick audio, sorry.
And
If we
Andrew
can choose
picked
our
audio,
own
sorry.
games, all right.
All right.
Like, our own games that haven't even been released yet. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I picked those.
Speaking of though, it is actually really fun to play my game in VR. I do that occasionally.
You gotta send me footage. I made Kevin's tech demo.
Dude, why don't you just like?
Well, that reminds me. Wait, Carlo, where's the footage for mine? Because I want to show some people.
Hey, Carlo,
I
why
hope I
don't you
still
just
have
go
it.
and get your Christmas gift off your email?
My Christmas gift.
Remember, I asked you for your email the other day.
Dude, did you send him?
Oh, you know,
Did you
I'll
send
check
him
my
a
spam.
VR?
Okay.
Did you
I
send him
sent
a VR headset over email?
Oh,
I did-
snap,
I sent
dude.
him-
Wait, I
I
gotta
sent
get
him-
that.
I sent him an Oculus over
Over email.
I just gotta
Over email.
download the Oculus and then...
Oculus email.
Dude, sick.
Okay, I realized my program, right? If you give it 5 numbers, it works perfectly fine, but as soon as you give it 6 numbers, it runs so slow.
Okay, wait, Andrew. So, you were gonna go off on a little bit about some VR games. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So VR games that. Okay. So first, it's not for something you can play at home, but if you have the opportunity to go to a downtown Disney and try, what is it called? It's Disney's or it's the Void. And I don't know if the Void's going to be there forever, but basically, I don't really want to spoil the premise too much, but they'll spoil it for the very first part of it. They'll spoil it's a Star Wars experience, and it is amazing. I mean, you're wearing an Oculus, a backpack computer, and you've got what is that, like Leap Motion on, so it's all hands free. I don't really want to spoil it much more than that, like as to how the tech works, but like it's like $35 to $37. It is a worthwhile experience. So that is the best short experience you can have in VR. I think it is indicative of some of the future of VR. The types of things that we'll be able to see. There are a lot of other games I could give it to. I mean, it's obvious to me that in the last 2 years, Superhot is an obvious pick, I think. Superhot in VR, like, I like FPS. I love the concept of Superhot. I didn't actually stick to Superhot. It didn't sync me on PC for some reason, even though it's the kind of game I normally like. In VR, it was one of the most compelling experiences I've ever had. There was another game, but I can't think of it right now because brain, so... we can move on to the next category if everyone's picked. Has everyone picked?
I believe so. Lily, could you describe the sorcerers and mages game, or the sorcerers and the?
Oh, Blade and Sorcery. Oh,
Yeah.
you're just like this. So basically, I actually didn't see a whole lot of gameplay, but basically you just like fight like a lot of people in a ring. Like it's a medieval game, and like you can use this actually has really great physics or whatever. Like there's physics on the weapon, so you can't just like stick a sword through a wall. Like it'll actually like hit the wall. So and plus you can also use like spells, like you can electrocute people.
Oh man, these
Or you can
ragdolls.
grab people. Yeah, you can actually like grab the NPCs and like throw them around. It's actually pretty hilarious. But and you can also use telekinesis. Like you can just like summon weapons to you. Like your weapon just like won't like despawn or anything. Like it'll just lay there, and you can just like drag it back to using like telekinesis. It's actually pretty awesome. I saw it in action. Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Where?
Okay.
All right,
That sounds fun.
We heard that. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, because like after I say something, like I just get no response.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You just gave a good description. I like.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't
all
know.
right, well, that was the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Next up is Best mobile game. For the best game... What? For the best game playable on a dedicated mobile device.
Wait, does this mean mobile only, or does it include ports?
It includes ports because the nominees are
Donut.
Can I get through these categories? I haven't even mentioned the categories. Donut County, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, Reigns, Game of Thrones Edition, and the winner was Florence.
What's Florence?
I've heard really good things about both Florence and Reigns. I have not played either. I can't speak to them.
Reigns is pretty good. It's not the first Reigns game to come out though. It's a
true,
cool
but
game.
I hear it's the best one. I guess
that as well. Let me mute this. It's muted. Perfect.
My choice goes for the Reddit app. The Reddit app is my favorite mobile game.
I'm giving mine.
Wait, you're not choosing Diablo Immortal?
First of all, it hasn't even come out. But...
Second of all, I don't even have a phone. Okay.
Oh, dude.
Wait, does a Switch count as a mobile device?
No, it's a dedicated mobile device. Wait a minute. So that means DS is on the line. Hold on. That means DS counts. All right, I'm giving mine to WarioWare Gold. Yes, they do. I'm giving mine to either WarioWare Gold or Rhythm Heaven Gold.
Okay, let's talk about mobile games though. Really,
or my mobile games, those are pretty good.
Dedicated. So does that mean that if it's had a port, it can't be a dedicated mobile game?
No. No. On a dedicated mobile device.
Oh, well, I consider the Switch a dedicated mobile device.
It's not. It's a console that happens to also be mobile.
No, because it has a dock. Okay.
But that's I think the point is that
it's designed. Well, I guess the Switch is designed, but the Switch is just a console that is.
It's too good to be.
It's too good. We can't compare.
It's too good for this category.
I'm pretty sure what they're implying is that it's not necessarily a gaming device, but it can run games.
Okay.
But hold on. Like what category does PSP and DS go? Because those have to be mobile. Those have to be dedicated mobile devices.
That is fair.
They're more like just small consoles.
Well, okay, yeah, but they have no. But if you think about it, their overall like power is lower than like a Switch, than like a full console.
Wait. Yeah, then what category does Switch belong in?
I think I think Switch is a console because Nintendo markets it as both a home and a mobile, so it's not technically dedicated. Like it isn't specifically for mobile.
Okay.
Also, you can't hook up like a PSP to your TV, can you?
You can like cast to it. You can cast the PSP to the PS4 to the TV.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's a very roundabout thing. You have to go through a console for that.
Well, okay, so we'll say for this category, all PSP, all DS, and all phone games.
You know what? I'm gonna give it. I think the Switch counts, but if we're not gonna do the Switch because that's fair, I have 3 games I would give it to on mobile, and I can give reasoning why. So when you're ready, I will do that.
Okay, and Andrew, you go ahead, because I think everyone else is still thinking.
So there's a game called Gorb. It is made by an indie dev. It is a puzzle game. I think it is quite fun. I highly recommend anyone who can. It's a paid game. It's not very expensive. It has no ads. It's really clean, quite juicy. I've talked to the dev.
I'm assuming you don't mean FaZe Gorb, who is a Fortnite player.
No, Gorb.
No, that's how I'm spelling it. There's also Gorb, the Hollow Knight enemy. Gorb from Urban Dictionary. Gorb has a definition in the Oxford Dictionary, and Gorb on Steam. Gorb on Steam.
Yeah, so this is not a well-known.
Wait, is this? Am I looking at it on Steam? It's like $1, and it's like physics-based puzzle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. If I didn't know it was on Steam, but yeah, that looks like it.
Okay. This would count. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know this counts. I told you. I'm choosing. I'm going to tell you 3 games that count. this game counts. I actually this dev is frequents the subreddit for game dev, their game dev league Discord. I've talked to him before. He's really cool and his game is really fun. So there's your incredibly indie title choice. There's a game called Hammer Bomb on mobile, which I don't know when that came out, but I've had that on my phone for a bit, and that's a really good game. It has ads, which is kind of gross, but the gameplay is good enough that I warrant a plug for it. And for like the big MMO-y kind of game with an incredible amount of loot grinding and boxes and everything, because that's just hard to escape on mobile, I think Summoner's War is the best if I'm going to have to choose something like that. Those are my 3 picks.
Yo, Gorb looks pretty good.
It's really fun.
Okay, one of these Steam reviews is just being mean. Rather play with mud. Come on. Okay. Kevin, what was your pick?
For what?
Best mobile game.
Oh, Reddit.
Oh, okay. Lily, what's your best mobile game? Don't say Tumblr.
Probably Hungry Shark.
Hungry Shark. All right, describe that one.
Well, basically you play as a shark and using the.
Wait, is this the game on PS4? No, right? It's a different Hungry Shark game.
I'm talking about mobile games.
Is it Hungry Shark World? Hungry Shark Revolution? Evolution?
Evolution.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, so basically you just play as a shark and like your objective is to eat.
Why on earth is this game? Keep going.
Yeah, so the objective is to stay alive as long as possible, but like constantly eating, or whatever. And like the longer like you stay alive, like the more bonuses you get and whatever. And you can like unlock different sharks that can like eat bigger and bigger things, whatever. I really like it. It actually has a pretty nice progression.
For Shark Week, live every week, like it's Shark Week. I mean, it looks pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, and also like I like the game because it doesn't rely on a lot of microtransactions. I mean, well, yeah, you can like buy like gems or whatever to buy more things, but it's actually not necessary. You can just actually save up your earnings and actually get more stuff that way. Because like I dislike because I used to have this hunting game installed, and like you can like unlock different guns or whatever to like shoot like better or whatever, has better stats or whatever. But the thing is, like, they were so ridiculously expensive by the in-game currency, it pretty much forces you to buy it with real money. But when in the game like Hungry Shark, like you can actually, it's realistic to save up the money for like new unlockables. So yeah.
All right. Next category, since Kevin picked Reddit. Best independent game for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Nominees are Celeste, Dead Cells, Into the Breach, Return of the Obra Dinn, and The Messenger. And the winner was Celeste. Our picks.
Oh yeah, I did hear. I did see some gameplay of Celeste, and it actually looks pretty interesting.
Celeste is amazing.
Yeah, apparently the story is really good.
It is. I'm just gonna give mine to Cuphead again.
Give mine to Cuphead. Celeste is really good. I'm gonna give mine to Cuphead again.
Oh, wait, no, I think Celeste actually earned it.
Are we on indie games?
Yeah, we're on indie games.
Oh hell yeah! Give me the Hollow Knight.
I think Hollow Knight was last year, wasn't it?
Hollow for the Hollow Knight.
Dude, last year for indie games though was insane. Like there were a lot of.
Wait, was Hollow Knight 2017?
Dude, last year for games was really good.
No, you're right. Just in general, it was really good.
2016 also was a freaking high point. I thought that the games industry had insane momentum 2016, 2017. 2018 has been largely a disappointment with the exception of the PlayStation.
Oh, Hollow Knight is 2017. Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say 2017? I mean 2018 has been largely a disappointment.
Excuse you, Smash Brothers.
Well, I mean,
that is technically 2019 as far as voting is concerned.
That is fair.
Okay, I'm looking at looking at all the games that came out 2018, and I'm like, okay, yeah, most of the good ones are for PS4.
Yeah, this was at least the year of the PlayStation, and I think to be fair, I think the PlayStation's going to have a very, very, very weak year next year because they're prepping for the next PlayStation. And
wait, for 2019, no, dude, 2019 is the best year for PS4. Sekiro's coming out.
That's one game though. Like
yeah,
I think
that makes up for it. Sekiro.
Okay, for people who play Dark Souls.
Yeah. Okay. Other than that, I don't know about any PS4 games.
Like to be fair, yes, Sekiro is going to be cool. I'm not denying that it's going to be a good year for From Software.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it will be a particularly amazing year for the PlayStation itself. I mean, as it is, they pulled out for of E3.
So best indie game.
Trying to get back on topic, huh?
Best indie game.
I'll give it to Celeste. I think it earned it.
Wait, so we're still doing the 2016, 2018, right? In that
Are
case,
we?
I mean,
yeah.
In this case, because it was 2018, Celeste was just really good.
To be fair, I've not played Celeste and I've not played Hollow Knight, both of which are on my list of games I'd like to play, but I've not played.
I have not played any of the games on this list, so I'm still gonna go with Hollow Knight. Yeah.
That's fair.
Wait. When did Ori and the Blind Forest come out? Because that's actually.
I think that's old, isn't it? I thought it was like 20.
Yeah, quite a while ago.
Oh, never mind. That's 2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me check. I'll double check.
No, I just looked it up. It's 2015. Is DMC a PlayStation exclusive?
Devil May Cry? I think so.
Yeah. Because that's a PlayStation exclusive. That's also coming out 2019.
Nope, it isn't. Xbox One.
Okay, never mind. What the hell's Jump Force?
No, it isn't. It's not happening. No.
Jump,
okay.
Jump? That's not indie.
No, but what is Jump? Oh,
it's
Force.
a Shonen Jump Force. Yeah, it's Shonen Jump.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's made on Unreal Engine. That's cool.
It looks... The art style is interesting, and it looks good. Wait a minute, isn't The Last of Us Part 2 coming out next year?
I'm looking at 2019 games.
Honestly, I feel like in the very near future we should just do a podcast where we just talk about our excitement for 2019.
The Last of Us Part 2 is next year.
Oh, yeah. Ace Combat 7's coming out next year. That sounds dope.
Okay, anyway, indie game. Andrew, what is your indie game pick?
So, okay. Let's go with the game. I have two picks. One from last year and one from this year. But one of them I've not had a chance to play, but I've seen a lot of footage of. And I'm pretty sure this is a title I will enjoy when I have money. So, for the sake of choosing something that is not a game people have heard of, from this year, I would choose Overload. From last year, I would choose Doki Doki Literature Club.
Another strong pick.
Oh, that horror game.
The horror game. Well, you just spoiled it, but yeah, no, I'm just kidding. You didn't spoil it.
at this point, like a year on, it's not. If you haven't seen it at this point.
But it is that game was well crafted.
Okay, and Lily, what is your pick?
For what kind of game?
Indie game.
Indie game. Well, I think my choice will always be Stardew Valley, but it's not really recent anymore.
No, that works. You can pick Stardew.
You can pick Stardew Valley, yeah.
All right.
But that's the game I was talking about, Overload.
All right, and now games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning or message. The nominees are...
What does pro-social mean? I forgot.
I have no idea. The nominees are 1111 Memories Retold, Celeste, Florence, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, and The Missing, J.J. Macfield and the Island of Memories. And the winner was Celeste.
Yeah, I heard Celeste helped a lot of people, apparently.
Can I vote for DLC Quest?
If That came out like 2013.
No, I know.
That's
no,
not
no,
even
no, sorry,
close.
no, that was a joke on. I think that had a pro-social impact.
That was
But
2011.
it's denoting positive behavior that is positive, helpful, and intended to promote social acceptance and friendship.
See, exactly. It was well, okay, maybe a little the opposite. To not promote. Yeah, I know, that was my irony pick of the day.
Okay,
I know.
my pick is Finding Paradise. Okay, next.
Pro-social. What the hell? Okay,
I'm trying to think of a game that this year I can't really think of one. I know Celeste is the one that everyone would choose. I didn't play Celeste.
Does it have to be like intentionally pro-social, or can it be like?
See, that's a good question. That's a totally good question.
I don't think it has to be intentional.
If it's unintentional, I'm gonna have to give it to Battlefield 5 because I've never seen squads work together as well in any Battlefield game as I have in Battlefield 5.
Huh? That's an interesting.
Yeah, that's
a really interesting.
That's a very interesting take on the.
No, like just.
It's supposed. Wait. It also has to be it says a thought-provoking game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, forget that. Yeah, forget that.
Well, okay, so that's where DLC Quest fit. By the way.
Still 2011.
No, but that's not.
No.
We both. That's be thought-provoking and pro-social message.
You guys. Okay, never mind.
Pros. I'm trying to think of
Lily, do you have a pick for this?
For what?
Games for Impact. A thought-provoking game with profound pro-social meaning or message. Actually, what about Bennett Foddy's Getting Over It? Or Getting Over It with
not
Bennett
pro-social.
Foddy. Yeah, it is. The message is go outside.
I don't.
Yeah,
maybe that's like ironically pro-social.
Wasn't it just like training people not to rage quit over a game?
I think it was about getting over
it.
Things that block you in life. Yeah, the things that block you in life.
I want to call that pro-social.
Well, I mean, like, there's a lot of anger within like the gaming community, so I think that's okay.
Okay, maybe depending on which ending you get, Hollow Knight had some pro-social themes to it.
I'd say this is not recent at all, but I'd say like Undertale maybe.
You could say Deltarune.
Okay.
Deltarune.
Undertale, yeah, okay.
Deltarune. You can give it to Deltarune. That happened this year.
I haven't played Deltarune, so I don't know.
Okay, I have actually played Deltarune. Deltarune, we can give it. I would give it to Deltarune. Let's give it to Deltarune, just because.
Fine.
I'm actually surprised that game got 0 acknowledgement. Maybe because it's technically too late in the year. I don't know.
Well, everyone burnt themselves out on Undertale, so.
Fair enough. I think that honestly Celeste is probably the best choice, though I have not played it. Like I've seen some footage and I can see where people and seen footage of the devs talking and stuff about it. I think that they obviously had a lot of intent to have a pro-social message with that game.
Wait, when did Spec Ops is really old.
Okay, I think I think we should go to the next one unless we have another game.
Nope. I mean, so what was everyone's pick?
I think I said Hollow Knight.
Okay,
I said Deltarune, yeah.
Deltarune for Andrew. Kevin, what was yours?
Hollow Knight. Depending on what ending you get.
No, okay. And then I said Finding Paradise. Okay. Next topic. Oh boy. Best performance awarded to an individual for voice acting. You have Brian Deckert, the Connor dude from Detroit Become Human. Christopher Judge.
Wait, didn't we already talk about this?
Yes,
yeah,
but
we did.
Backwards because Kevin started from the top for some reason. Melissa
started
Anthony
from the top, now we're here.
as Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead. Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker. And the winner was Roger Clark as the Red Dead dude.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, actually, he's like, Sadly, that's one of the only games that I've heard voice acting for, and I actually really liked his take on Peter Parker.
I liked Kratos.
All right, Kevin, what's yours?
I haven't played any of these games, so I'm looking through older games.
How about you just say Horizon Zero Dawn again? Whatever.
Not a bad choice.
To be honest, Horizon Zero Dawn looked really nice, but I can't say like the acting was that great.
What about
Uncharted 4?
What about that game that would have won Pro Social Message that probably won Pro Social Message last year? What was that called?
Beyond Two Souls?
Never mind. I can't remember the name.
Beyond Two Souls?
No. Don't worry about it. I can't remember.
All right,
it's just gone.
Next topic.
Gone thought.
Best audio design presented by Dolby. Okay, just game that had good audio. Call of Duty Blops 4.
Wait, is our segment also presented by Dolby?
No, our segment is not presented by Dolby. They did not pay us a single dime.
Okay, so best audio design presented by Dolby, presented by Game Dev Club.
There you go. Oh,
presented by Audio Zoe.
Presented by Audio. There you go. Presented by Audio Zoe. Call of Duty Blops 4. COD Blops 4. Forza Horizon 4. God of War. Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead 2. The winner was Red Dead 2. I give it to Audio Zoe.
Actually, to be fair,
really,
you get to put your own music in that game.
That's exactly it's OP. It's OP.
So
Lily
I
next.
didn't have the best audio design. You do.
Oh, thank you.
That's adorable.
Oh, snap. Lily, Lily, you were
But but what game would I give it for audio?
Excuse you, I asked Lily.
I don't know. I thought I actually wouldn't say Spider-Man for this one because it's basically just classic like movie music. Because like that game is like a movie. Red Dead had like original music written for that game, and it was actually pretty fitting with the game. So I'd say that one. Red Dead.
Okay, Andrew.
Thinking a lot about it, I mean, Red Dead has sound effects for everything. I mean, like everything, right? This isn't. I don't know if this is best original score. Is that a separate category?
That's more like a movie category.
Right. Well, no, but sometimes they do that.
No,
for
that
games.
is that's literally the
best
next.
score.
Yeah, the next one is best.
Okay,
score.
so best score is
so
a thing.
audio design is everything else.
So I would definitely give it to Red Dead for audio design. You know, footprints or foot crackling stuff in the snow, or like, yeah. I mean, that definitely. I think Red Dead.
Oh, it's just super polished.
Yeah, it's there's a sound for everything. So I think that's the
yeah.
best.
No, I think like actually it's Red Dead.
Yeah.
Kevin, what's your pick?
I think I mentioned this
Dark Souls?
before, but despite the few bugs it has, I'd say PUBG's sound design is actually really
That's true.
That's
at
fair.
least for from a gameplay standpoint.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot you can say about PUBG, but their sound is really good.
Now, there's a few there's a few annoying bugs with it, but other than that, it's really good.
All right. So next category, of course, as we alluded to, best score / music presented by Spotify, presented by the Game Dev Club. For outstanding music, inclusive score, original song, and/or licensed soundtrack, you have Celeste, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom, Octopath Traveler, and Red Dead 2. The winner was Red Dead 2. Kevin, what is your choice for best original score?
Wait, does this mean it has like
The actual songs in the game.
okay? So it can't be like songs produced related to the game.
No. It has to have been like released with the
By
game
the people who
inside.
made the game.
Yes.
Okay, what if it's by the people who made
Is
the
it
game?
in the game?
Okay, if it has, do login screens count?
Yes.
Are you
Okay,
gonna say
then League of Legends.
KDA?
Yeah, League of Legends has so many fire tracks.
Okay, fine. Lily, what is your pick?
Original score, huh?
Yes, original score, huh?
Specifically with the
Yeah, I'd say it was Red Dead. That was pretty good. They put a lot of effort into that.
All right. Andrew.
Both of my choices are 2017.
Well, then fire away.
Nier Automata, Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yes, those are good choices.
Oh,
and actually, when you do that, then you can do Horizon Zero Dawn and
Horizon Zero Dawn's music wasn't that good.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. It was mostly ambient, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's not something you would listen to separately.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild wasn't bad either, but I would say that the other two, the first two picks were probably.
Cuphead's music was pretty good too.
Cuphead's music was
actually, if it just purely for being addictive and getting in your head, I'm gonna go back to Doki Doki Literature Club because that game had that music just never leaves your head.
Deltarune.
Delta. Oh my gosh.
Hollow Knight also had some pretty good ones.
Okay, I know this is next year, but Smash Ultimate.
No. See, that was gonna be my pick. I'm just picking Smash Ultimate. Honestly, it gets 2 years in a row for this.
I'm gonna preemptively say Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
That one's gonna be good.
Before it even comes out.
How can you possibly vote against a game that has the DK rap, the Final Fantasy VII Encounter music, and Gangplank Galleon?
I'll tell you how, and there's only one way. If Doom Eternal releases next year.
Oh yeah, you get that.
I'm gonna vote against it because their original soundtrack for Doom 2016 was friggin' amazing. And
unless the Doom guy makes it into Smash. Unless the Doom guy makes it into Smash.
There you
go.
The Doom soundtrack. That solves everything.
Smash.
It does. It solves everything.
But actually, you're gonna have Persona music in Smash too. It can't lose.
Okay. Also, I'm gonna make this prediction. Jump Force is either gonna have really bad or really good music. There's no in between.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think 100%. That is like the most reasonable prediction regarding music I've heard.
Yes. Okay. No, but actually, my pick for this year is probably either Celeste or Finding Paradise.
I have not played Finding Paradise. What is that about?
I don't want to spoil it because.
Okay, so it's a game you kind of have to play.
Yeah, if you played the first one.
Oh god, I didn't even know there was a first one. Okay, we're definitely down. Yeah, no idea.
I have a long play on my YouTube channel, youtube.com, Neoxid501. You can watch the long play of the original game, but the first game in the club.
Plugging your YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
No, that's smart. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Okay, so that was best score. And now best art direction. Wow, we have to speed up here. Best art direction: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead 2, or Return of the Obra Dinn. And the winner was Return of the Obra Dinn, and I will actually probably have to agree. Andrew, what's your hot take? Andrew, what's your hot take?
I'm thinking. Sorry.
Okay, Kevin, what's your hot take?
Hold on. I am.
All right, Lily, what's your hot take?
I think God of War was pretty good.
All right. There you go. God of War from Lily. Return of the Obra Dinn from me. Andrew, we've gone full circle in 2 seconds. So what's your... You got 2 seconds to think. What's your opinion?
This was for art direction?
Art direction.
It's technical and or creative.
Oh yeah, let me read you the description. Right. Outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
Oh, animation.
Okay, so
that's harder.
For artistic design, I'm gonna have to go with either Darkest Dungeon or Hollow Knight. And then for technical, I'm gonna have to go with Horizon Zero Dawn. Just because of the way the robots just fall apart mid-combat.
Let's give it to Beat Hazard 2. It's a pretty big technical achievement. It's actually tackling some of the same kinds of problems that I've been tackling with the game.
Wait. I forgot Cuphead came out last year too, so I'll throw Cuphead in there too.
Yeah, I'll also throw in
okay,
Cuphead.
Yeah, that's a good choice for animation for sure.
I think they just outright won last year for animation.
I mean, they better.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way you could not.
Well, okay, to be fair, I mean, there is a lot of skill in 3D animation too. That may have been overlooked last year too because of Cuphead.
But there was just
I almost think
a lot of skill in 2D animation.
Cuphead just stood out so much. It was it had to win.
To be fair, I think that when we have, when the industry is so split at this point between 2D and 3D design, it's almost disingenuous to be throwing all those games into the same category and trying to compare them. Like,
that's actually a fair point. I mean,
like,
but then you have 2.5D games, like.
Well, okay, but you can choose where those, like, are they trying to emulate 3D or 2D more? Because usually you can find that. Like, Doom is trying to be a 3D game rather than a 2D game, but it's actually 2.5D in its actual implementation. So, like, you could I would put it on the 3D side.
I mean, what about like side scrollers that use 3D graphics? Like, what if you get like Mortal Kombat or Smash?
Okay, that's definitely a hybrid in design, but one of those is but the gameplay itself is 2D usually.
Yeah, the gameplay is 2D, but the art is 3D.
What about games that go from 2D to 3D?
Yeah, okay, so that's an interesting one. Okay, I know this is a little off topic, but that's actually a fun topic to talk about.
Yeah, all right, so let's get back on topic with the next.
Before we do this, we'll just talk about it for 2 seconds. There's some interesting games in those categories. There's Evoland and The Messenger, which no one has mentioned The Messenger because I think unfortunately we haven't all played it, but that's a cool game that changes art style while you're playing it. I think that's a cool game that if you guys have not seen, you should take a look at.
What's the next category, Carlo? Hit us up.
It is Best Narrative for Outstanding Storytelling and Narrative Development in a Game. Detroit Become Human, God of War, Life is Strange 2, Episode 1, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead 2. And the winner was Red Dead 2.
Bullshit, this should have been Spider-Man.
Okay, well, Lily picked Spider-Man.
I'm actually surprised that there
Andrew,
were very
what's
few
yours?
indie games in that category.
I don't think there was one.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
There probably is an indie gem from the last
Finding
from 2018
Paradise is my
for narrative. Fair enough. I think, but to be fair,
I mean, that game was all narrative.
It's just a book.
It's just
it's kind of like a walking. It's not a walking simulator, but it's definitely it definitely has that kind of feel to it.
It's kind of funny because I think that in a lot of games we try to shove as much narrative as we can, and I'm almost inclined to give a game with less narrative.
No, I mean, okay, but there's a difference.
Dude, World of Light story mode.
There's a difference between narrative and exposition, though.
Okay, you're right. I give my award to Mariana.
I agree with that. Well, no, that's kind of that was actually the point I was getting towards. You summed it up fairly well, but I think that there are a lot of games that like an example would be, I mean, I guess technically it's lore, but I mean, like if you look at something like Dark Souls, where there isn't a lot told to the player, but there is obviously a narrative.
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate that in games a lot, and I think that it's really hard for me to compare a game that does narrative in a non-intrusive way and really lets me focus on the gameplay, and a game that it's just narrative laden all over with exposition. And I don't think that either is inherently bad or good, but it's really hard to compare those kinds of games.
Oh dear lord,
because they both achieve something different.
They've already done animation swaps in Smash Ultimate.
What does that mean?
Like,
is it like the glitch kind?
Yes, they gave Mario Kirby's taunt.
Oh, those are so funny. Oh my gosh.
I think the best animation swaps I've seen were in Dark Souls though, where you could give like a huge like battle axe or something the moveset of a katana.
That's sick.
So you would just be like slicing around with this giant battle axe. It was so funny.
That is actually really cool.
Okay. So
no, but
yeah, what would pick best narrative? Best narrative.
Uncharted 4, because that was basically a movie.
Cool. All right. Andrew, your pick.
I'm not going to actually vote. I think I voted earlier on this category, but I'm just not going to vote on this one.
Fair enough. Lilith said Spider-Man.
Sorry, what was the category again?
Narrative.
You said Spider-Man.
Oh, she did.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah.
All right.
Because that game, like, I was watching like the gameplay and cutscenes or whatever. Like I wasn't kidding
I love those.
when I said it plays out like a really good movie, because like the gameplay like goes right into the cutscenes. It's absolutely seamless. So, and like the thing is the story itself, because Spider-Man is a very popular story, but I think Spider-Man PS4 is something really special in the way they told it.
You know, actually, from what I played of that game, I would have to agree that they did a very nice job of seamlessly integrating the narrative. Actually, if anything, I think the biggest trend, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the biggest trend that we've seen in AAA this year, the biggest like emergent trend that maybe actually in some ways a positive trend, was the way that the use of in-engine cutscenes, as opposed to like pre-rendered, yeah, and the seamless integration of those cutscenes in a really meaningful way for the gameplay. Red Dead did this. Spider-Man did this. God of War, I think, even did this.
Undertale had those in-engine cutscenes, or Deltarune.
Dude, what's up, Undertale?
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, to be fair.
And the next topic, best game direction. Jesus. Awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, and Red Dead 2. And the winner was God of War.
Can I give it to a studio that tried to do something?
Sure, they get a You Tried award.
They tried.
It's that gold star.
The You Tried award goes to, and we're making our own award here.
Oh, here we go.
You Tried award goes to Fallout 76 because honestly, despite the fact that they released it way too early, they actually tried to do something that was ambitious for their studio.
You know what I will say about...
Which was make an online game.
What I will say about Bethesda is they have been consistent in the past few months. They have been consistently bad. Yeah. Did you guys hear about the rum bottle situation?
Yeah. Oh. It just never ends.
They just can't win.
Oh man, Bethesda.
Well, okay. Wait, let me be frank. I think the rum bottle thing.
That wasn't
maybe to
Bethesda.
some degree people looking for a problem.
But it said the bottle. Like I think it was on the store.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and they definitely. But like, yet again, I feel like people are so angry about Fallout 76 that they won't.
They'll just target anything.
They'll target anything that's not to snuff. Now, albeit it's deceptive marketing and definitely,
Lily died.
She'll be back.
Oh.
Okay.
But I think it's fair to say that like, well, one, these things would have gone unnoticed probably before Fallout 76.
You're back.
And two, I'm not entirely sure that that's okay that they went unnoticed beforehand. But
okay,
wait,
I'm gonna redirect us back to best game direction.
Oh, okay. I'm like looking through so what accounts on
creative vision, innovation, and game direction. You can't use the name in the definition, damn it. Like
yeah, that's what I'm like. This is a very circular
game direction. The best game that had the best direction. Thanks.
Basically, the director did a good job ensuring that the game had a clear and concise vision.
Spider-Man.
Horizon.
Yeah, Spider-Man is probably. I would have to say it was probably like the easiest to execute that. No, not easiest. I shouldn't say easiest, but like. Because it's Spider-Man, it's a character that's very ever-present in pop culture. It was probably the most direct.
They did a good job.
I have to give it to God of War. Because I think that God of War took a franchise that had a very distinct trajectory, totally changed its trajectory, and didn't fail, and totally delivered on it. Which means that the game direction was 100% on point.
Yeah, for trailer direction, though, I'll give it to Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah.
No, but in terms of game direction, I probably have to give it to Horizon Zero Dawn, just because technically it was very good, and the story and overall world is very interesting too. And I haven't played any of these other games, so. Hello.
Yeah,
Wait,
no, we heard you.
Did Carlo
okay.
have the choice?
Oh yeah, no, I haven't.
No, I said Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right. So then I guess we've all voted.
Yes, we have. And the next
I
game.
I think the winner in this category is Spider-Man.
I mean, overall, yeah, but let's not discount your vote of God of War because I do think you have a point.
Well, I mean,
They took it in a new direction and they executed
Dad
it
of
very
War.
well. Dad of War.
yeah.
All right. And now, best ongoing game. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. The nominees are Destiny 2, Forsaken, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Why
And
did
the
you say
winner-
Destiny 2 Forsaken like it was 2 different games?
No,
Destiny
I,
So
2
I was
and
really angry.
Forsaken.
I said Destiny.
I was-
Excuse. I haven't. I'm not done. First of all, it's Destiny 2 : Forsaken.
Yeah, I know, but you had like such a huge
Wait.
pause. It was like it was 2
Now
different
there's a
games.
colon in it? Why is the colon Forsaken?
The winner was Fortnite. Okay, someone say their winner.
I think it was definitely No Man's Sky, because compared to their launch and the way they are now, why is that not like? Why did they not get that award?
Now,
I mean,
to be fair,
the same thing can be said for Siege.
to be fair to No Man's Sky specifically, they actually did win awards last year, I think, or the year before, when their game was in an abysmal state. So, like, I feel like all of their collective goodwill was already given to them.
You can't use karma as a reason to not give them an award, though.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, give it to someone else who's innovated in that category. They've done a good job, and they've already got their awards for it.
Okay.
Like, it's because it's an award ceremony. It's like if you give them the award for doing that, I guess it's nice, but they're already getting awarded by making sales of the game that they should have had in the right state before they released it in the first place.
Let's see, what else is there? What are the other? There are a lot of games that deserve to be on here that were not Overwatch.
Honorable mention that does not get the award, but honorable mention to Heroes of the Storm because Activision and Blizzard decided to just kill it.
This was the game that can you repeat the category title? I just want to make sure I
Best
have it right.
ongoing
Game. Yeah, so to be fair, as much as I love Overwatch, I honestly don't think that this year has been I feel like Blizzard has blatantly neglected Overwatch in 2018. There's been very little in terms of new story content.
Right, yes, this.
Like it's like I know that it's not a story-based game, but the things that brought in a community that made the game actually fairly friendly, they've just ignored all those things and they've only focused on esports because money. And so I have I mean they have kept innovating on that side, but I don't know that I feel that could be the best ongoing game, because I don't feel like that they've really supported it to the degree that they've supported or that other studios have supported their games. So oddly enough, I feel like the only thing I would say on that entire category is I would not vote for Overwatch, even though I love the game.
Yeah, because there's like they've continued to develop the game. It's not like they just like stopped, but it's like they just continued. Well, I mean, it is a game, and they continue developing it as a game. But the thing is, like, what's stopping me is that like they have not developed the meta in a way that like left their players satisfied. And also, you're right about them not developing any new story content as of late.
And you know what? Honestly, to be fair, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, because it's just like a huge pause in it. Like I just don't know what's going on.
And I also think that a lot of the problems that like they have right now with the game's meta could easily have been solved if they just doubled or tripled their hero output production for 1 year and then did balancing. So the problem is that there aren't enough heroes in certain categories to properly balance for those heroes, because if you were to say do banning, someone could ban one of the 5 tanks. And there's only like 5 or the 6 tanks. There's only 5 tanks.
Oh Jesus Christ! Sorry about that. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah,
but I think that one of the biggest problems Overwatch suffers from is a small hero pool.
Yeah. So like, if you literally like look at their hero selection, like 75% of the heroes are DPS.
Yeah, I mean, mind you, they used to be in attack and defense categories, but yeah, they've stripped away a lot of the defensive capabilities from those heroes, put them all into the attack category, and it just, I don't know, but the direction, like, I don't mind putting them all in the attack category, but I don't know that the direction they're taking really supports their roster.
Well, I mean, like, I think I've said this before, but I think the biggest problem with Overwatch's balancing is that there's no actual customization. You have the character and that's it.
No, actually, I totally disagree with that, though. But like, I mean, I honestly think that customization is actually the antithesis to proper balancing. If you're really trying to balance, but like, and if you want case in point, go look at World of Warcraft. Frickin' retarded. Anyone playing PvP in WoW is playing the wrong game.
No, but what I'm saying is if you have customization options, you don't get hard countered just because someone picks a champion. Because then you have ways to play around it.
But that's the thing. The way that you the way you counter them is to either switch or have or basically get closer to your skill cap for the champion.
But what I'm saying is it's not fair to like say that you have to switch if I pick this champion.
Unless that's the game, which I think is the game.
Well, yeah, that is the game, but they're like it's
I actually like that about the game. See, so that's the thing. Like, that's what the game originally was, and I think that's what like to be fair, like, I know that you like games that have that kind of customization, but I don't think that's what Overwatch is.
If you go back to the original game, I actually originally liked Overwatch a lot, because even if you were countered, it wasn't such a hard counter that you were forced to switch. You just had to play around it. Right now, you based on I haven't played it that much recently, but based on what I have played, the counters are just so hard that you have to switch.
Okay, that's because of stun meta. Basically, a lot of characters have stuns now.
Just
well,
like,
yeah, but that's a problem. That's a problem with hard counters.
Which team has the most amount of CCs?
Yeah, it's not just about so the thing is you're looking at it 1-to-1 as it's a hard counter, but I think it's more a power creep issue, if anything. And that's something like which is weird because they've actually collectively kind of lowered the power of most champions or heroes in Overwatch. But like,
they recently buffed Bastion, which I do not understand that decision.
But I mean, okay, no, what I'm saying is power creep itself isn't an issue. It's the balance issues it causes. So if power creep causes these hard counters, that's the issue.
No, I agree. That's what I'm saying. That was my point. The power creep has caused the cascading effect of hard counters being part of the game. It used to be that there was a fairly high degree of rock, paper, scissors. If you knew that the enemy team was running all squishes, you could punish them by playing a Winston. But even so, if they were playing well, they could still beat your Winston.
No, that's okay. Like I remember when I was playing, I used to play a lot of Widowmaker, and then if they had a Winston, it was a lot harder to play, but you could still play Widowmaker.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Well, it doesn't help that they basically released a character fairly recently, which in my opinion is just a better version of Widowmaker, which is Ashe. Like,
I haven't played Ashe.
You should try Ashe. It's basically just better Widow. Does a little less damage on headshots, but like her overall kit is just 100% better. Like, it's just an interesting kit. Like, not to end up talking about Overwatch for like 3 hours here, because that could be a whole different stream. But like, I think one of the things that Overwatch has done, or the Overwatch team has done, is they've lost, like we've talked about before, they've kind of lost a little bit of the original direction, and that was a lot of what made the game special. Mm-hmm. Like, and when I play a game like so I still really love the original Halo. The original Halo, you start with 2 weapons, and you can customize while you're playing effectively by choosing different weapons on the map. I know that that's an old style shooter thing, but that was one of the most balanced ways that you could handle player progression in a shooter, in my opinion, because then the map designer had control over who was going to win based on their skill. And that was and if you're trying to be competitive, I think that that's the best way to handle competitive shooters. The problem is that Overwatch was a game that was designed, like, really was not designed as a proper competitive game, and they've tried to shoehorn it into being a proper competitive game.
Right. Because I remember they used to not put the hero limit on because it was fun to see which combinations would work per se, and you don't necessarily have to have one of each hero. You can just do assault with 3 Widowmakers and somehow win, and that was fun. But
it was fun. It was actually fun. I think that as the champions became, or the heroes became a little bit more powerful, it made sense to disable that specific thing. But and that became no limits. But even so, generally all the decisions
you start talking about Overwatch
were this kind of this downhill towards where we are now.
My pick is CS:GO because
done with Overwatch. We got to talk
because they did a really good job with the majors, and when they actually tried to do a change and were like, "Hey, don't do that," they stopped doing that, and they're actually communicating in their patch notes for once. This year, this is the first year.
What is CS:GO? Okay, other than going free to play and adding Battle Royale, what have they actually changed recently?
It's mostly been minor changes to weapon balancing and map pools. But what used to happen is they just do the changes and tell us nothing, and now they're actually telling us stuff. And going from 0 to anything is a pretty big change. So, I appreciate
that sounds like a pity award.
I mean, kind of, but for the most part, it has been radio silent from them for a long time, and honestly, it's
that sounds like when you have
this year compared to last year was significantly better in terms of major quality and just in general. Even with the panorama update, which made the UI go from CS slightly better CS 1.6 to looking like an actual modern game.
It sounds like when your friend is failing a class and they get a C on a test and you're like, hey, you passed.
Basically,
nice.
Yes. But it has been the biggest improvement, technically, for me. In terms of the games that I play, it has been the biggest improvement.
Okay.
Well, anyway.
Oh, we're almost at the end.
I know. All right, so
I do want to say one thing though beforehand. Yes. The stuff that Lily was mentioning.
Oh my god.
There have been some really terrible things that happened at Riot, according to some of the sources. And I don't want to discount what Lily was saying. I do think it's really hard right now, especially with the amount of outrage just collectively everywhere, to discern between what is and isn't outrage worthy, though. And I think in this case, it probably was outrage worthy. I just want to point that out. My goal was not to lecture Lily. It's just the point, and I apologize if I did that. I think that the thing is just to point out that it is really hard to make those discerning. It's very hard because people are constantly making judgments and judgment calls.
Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You didn't have to go into a 20-minute long explanation.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm apologizing for.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right.
That was just not the right timing to give me that.
Okay, and now, Game of the Year. Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. The nominees were Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead Redemption 2. And the winner was God of War. And there are winners.
I was actually surprised that...
I was pretty mad.
I know a lot of us were surprised that that Red Dead didn't win it because it won so many other things.
Do you think it didn't win because it won? That seems kind of stupid to me. Well, I mean, I get why from a production standpoint why you wouldn't give every award to one thing, but I mean if it deserves it.
Lily,
it was voted on by fans, wasn't it?
It was partially by fans and then partially a panel of esteemed judges from various gaming outlets.
No, well, okay. I was just me. Yeah, I just mean in general though. It seems kind of dumb. Like, oh, they're winning so many things.
Lily,
Stop.
so Lily, what is your pick for game of the year?
I'd have to say Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right. Kevin, what is your pick for game of the year?
Out of this list?
No.
Oh, anything? Okay, anything in the last 2 years, or what? What's the limitation?
Because it's game of the year, let's just say this year.
Okay, I've only played one game that came out this year, so
It
Battlefield.
can, but it can also be an ongoing game.
Oh.
So League.
Considering
League
how much time I've probably League, but considering how much time I've poured into Battlefield 5 in like the 1 month that it's been out.
Wait, was
Yeah,
Battlefield
one of
5?
those
Wait,
two.
Was Battlefield 5 up for awards in the Game Awards?
I don't know.
If I can't vote for Smash Brothers, you can't vote for Battlefield.
Wait, when did Smash Bros come out? No,
Like,
Smash Bros came out way later. Okay, wait, hold on.
was it up for awards? I don't think it
I'm
was.
pretty sure Battlefield 5 could have been up for awards. I just don't think it got any.
Really?
Okay, but honestly, if Call of Duty can be in Best Action Game, Battlefield 5 definitely deserves to be in Best Action Game.
Because I don't see so was Battlefield just not nominated for anything? That doesn't sound right.
That does not seem, because I feel like it would get something at least, but okay, it was released November 20th. What's the cutoff date for the Game Awards?
I have no idea.
I don't remember, to be honest.
Okay,
with you.
Andrew, while we figure this out, what's yours?
I mean,
oh wait, no, okay,
Battlefield
it wasn't
was a fun
it wasn't eligible because the eligibility was cut off November 16th.
Oh, okay.
You know, I have to wonder if part of the pushing of that was also to put into next year's, just so it get forgotten Game Awards wise, like the push, because they pushed the release date. Like, I have to wonder if that might have been part of the motivation.
5?
Yeah, because like competing with Call of Duty seems like a losing battle.
Really, Battlefield's been getting more traction than Call of Duty, or I think critically, it's been better than Call of Duty recently.
But not Battlefield 5. Like
Battlefield, okay, no, Battlefield 5. I think people are starting to warm up to it after they fixed a lot of the bugs.
Maybe I can't speak for that, but I mean,
because I know on release, at least on Reddit, there was a big division in the community. There were the people who like. Okay, no, there were the guys who just didn't even try Battlefield and were hating on it for the trailer, which is stupid. There's the people who played it and were like, "Oh my god, this is so buggy. I hate this." And then there were the people like me who played it and were like,
"Yeah,
wait, this is actually a really good game despite the bugs, and if they fix the bugs, it'll be really good." So there was like a big division, and I think that division, as they slowly patch it, is starting to get better.
Okay, Andrew, what's your pick?
I'm still going for God of War because I think God of War was one of those games that was a single player experience. It had, to the best of my knowledge, no DLC. It was a complete package at release and a good one.
Wait, is God of War a PS4 exclusive?
It is.
Okay.
Okay, Kevin, what is your pick, given that you cannot pick Battlefield 5?
Oh my god. So it has to be a 2018 or ongoing game?
Yes.
Okay, League then. Because I've played no 2018 games.
Okay, Lily, your pick for Game of the Year.
She chose Spider-Man.
Oh, is it Spider-Man?
I think, didn't she? I think she said Spider-Man. She was first. And by the way, I do want to say Spider-Man's web slinging may have been the most fun single mechanic of the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I will say that. Like, yeah.
Because if there's one thing that annoys me most about open world games or other similar games is the moving around to different objectives. And it's
totally
it's
right.
really boring after a while. So with Spider-Man, you never.
Infamous had some really good movement.
Infamous 2, no, yeah, Infamous 2 is really good.
I agree with you, Lily.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely the highlight. I mean, there's a lot to love about that game, but that's the highlight.
It depends on, because there's a few good open world game movement mechanics, but then yeah, the majority I would say are pretty bad, but there are some notable ones I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not it's not binary. Like I think Zelda's glider was a really great mechanic too.
Okay, well, also when we're talking about open world, are we talking about only single player? Or are we including like battle royale open world kind of?
I don't know. Are we? We can.
Because if that counts towards open world, I'm going to have to say Elysium's was really good movement mechanics, especially for an FPS.
Actually, who else? Someone else was talking to me about Elysium yesterday, and I don't know anything about that game.
Ring of Elysium? It's really similar to... Okay, it's like PUBG, but like visually worse, but mechanically better. Okay, no, wait, that's not fair. Okay, it's PUBG with better quality of life, better optimization, and then like, but it's not as hardcore a shooter, and it doesn't look as good.
I think that look as good as, well, at least from their trailers, is not.
No, but if you play the actual game, like when you get in the game, you're like, oh, this looks pretty cool. But then when you go back to PUBG, you're like, wait, I did not realize how good PUBG actually looked.
Huh.
Like PUBG,
Okay.
PUBG, I think it looks like the lighting is really nice and the overall thing is pretty good. The only issue is their textures. Their textures are not scaled properly.
Well, I think that those are all pretty solid. Those are all solid picks. Wait, Carlo, did you choose yours?
I haven't. I'm trying to look for the cutoff date for last year's Game Awards.
You could probably assume the cutoff date from this year's is similar.
Yes, but I would like the actual day.
There's a specific game that released right in that.
I'm trying to find out.
What game are you thinking?
Nominees were announced on November 14th in order to be eligible release date on or before 27. Okay, the 27th. Damn it. Okay, I was going to say Slay the Spire, but that was it by like a week. It qualified for last year. Okay, so that one's out.
Did Titanfall qualify last year? I think it was last year.
I think Titanfall
let's make predictions for 2019.
I haven't picked yet, asshole.
Oh, you haven't? I thought you did.
No.
Lol.
I actually haven't played that much. I mean, I don't want to give it to Finding Paradise. Like, Finding Paradise was good. I don't think it's Game of the Year good. I mean, Snap.
Snap is my favorite game, dude.
I love Snap. I'll probably just have to give it to I'm just gonna give it to Spider-Man, honestly. I like Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little bit at a friend's house. It was pretty good. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's a good choice.
Actually, wait. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna give it to the Crash Insane Trilogy and Spyro Reignited Trilogy bundle.
Yeah.
Those are just remakes.
Yeah, your point.
I heard they were good remakes.
Yeah, they were good remakes.
Yeah, I know, but it's just because it's a good remake. What?
No, I know.
Really fair. It's a remake.
No, it's not. It's not because there's a little nostalgia attached too. More than likely.
Yeah, but it's my pick, and I picked those.
Also, it's not even a new game. It's a remake.
No, but if you include all three of them in one game, it's a new game.
Oh, dude.
It's one new game.
Skyrim Special Edition is a new game because it includes all the DLC. Oh.
Awful.
Okay. Anyway, thank you for listening to this.
Wait, what about let's do 2019 Game of the Year predictions.
Smash.
That sounds fun.
Smash Ultimate. Okay,
No, okay, fine. How about all the nominees?
Mario
Who do you think
Tennis.
get nominated?
Mario Tennis. Let's go.
If it comes out,
Actually, wait a minute. That's my
my personal 2019 prediction for myself is Doom Eternal if
it comes out.
It comes out and does not have microtransactions.
Okay.
Okay, let's. Okay. No, but what's all your nominees? You had to give 5 nominees.
Give 5. Smash Ultimate DLC character pack 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah, I like Smash Ultimate for a nominee.
Okay, let's see.
Fine. Smash Ultimate. The Last of Us Part 2.
There's Sekiro.
Yes. Ori and the whatever.
Does The Last
whatever.
of Us Part 2 count?
Lily, is there a game you're looking forward to next year?
I don't think so. Yeah, no. I don't think
Metroid Prime 4, if that actually comes out, I think that might be 2020, but if it comes out 2019.
Let's do Gibbs confirmed for 2019 with like a confirmed release date.
So,
Okay,
Sekiro.
Rage.
Yes,
actually looks
Sekiro.
pretty good.
Oh, it does. You're right. Isn't the new like Fallout, not Fallout, Far Cry coming out?
I thought it already came out. I don't know. I don't follow Far Cry. Okay, let's see. So I think so this is not an opinion. This is what I think they're gonna pick. So Sekiro's probably gonna be there.
The Last of Us
Battlefield 5
Part
is probably
2.
gonna be there. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is probably gonna be there.
The Last of Us Part 2. Like my list right now.
Part 2. I'm looking through the
like
list.
My
of
list
games.
is Smash Ultimate, Sekiro, The Last of Us Part 2, Battlefield 2,
Wait,
and Ori and the Wisp.
There's a Cuphead sequel. Oh, it's a DLC. Never mind.
No, it's the delicious last morsel.
Okay, yeah, that's probably it. Okay, then in terms of what I would personally like, okay, obviously Battlefield 5. I love Battlefield 5. Sekiro, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, The Sinking City, Ace Combat 7. That's probably it. I might check out Jump Force, but I don't think I'll be that interested in it. I don't really like fighting games that much. Oh wait, no, DMC5 is probably going to be on the list too.
What else is there next year?
What do you think?
I'm trying to think of what else is coming out next year off the top of my head.
Diablo Immortal.
That might not come out.
Elder Scrolls 6.
That's not.
I wish it was coming.
That's
I wish it was coming.
No,
No, I don't wish it was coming out next year. I hope it takes them 5 years and they make it right.
I mean, they could. For all we know, they could have been developing it since Skyrim came out.
Dude,
it could be literally in development hell. It's true. They're really opaque about their internal communication.
Like, I think I've said this on a previous podcast, but I'm pretty sure Bethesda's just scared to release a new Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, even more so, like after Fallout 76, they probably.
Oh yeah, okay. After all the stuff that happened recently, they're probably like, okay, let's wait a couple years.
Well, even they even pushed back Blades recently, right? Actually, I'm kind of excited about Blades if it's not
wait a minute. What about I don't think it'll make it, but will what the fuck is it called? What is Valve's card game called? I don't think that's gonna be up. There might be up for
Wasn't Artifact didn't it get a lot of like negative press though?
Yeah, it wasn't.
It had a lot of people jump in early and then a mass exodus. Yeah.
Yes, I don't think it's gonna win any awards if it got such a huge negative reception.
Supposedly it's really deep though. Like it's actually a good card game. It's just the microtransaction policy.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is yet again one of those cases of a good game being totally ruined by a bad business model.
But I think
even in terms of gameplay, I heard a lot of people saying it was like basically overly complex to the point where it wasn't that enjoyable.
Right, but I think the competitive players that
competitive
players love it.
The problem with Artifact right now is that it's just not, you can't watch it. It's not a spectator game, and that kind of defeats a lot of the esports.
To be fair, neither is Hearthstone.
What? No, Hearthstone is entirely spectator.
I like watching Hearthstone.
Yes,
I actually enjoy watching.
No. But how about this? When you're watching Hearthstone, at least you can understand what's happening. In Artifact, a lot of it is just like it's all in the person's head, and if they're trying to explain it all, they're losing.
No, but okay, yeah. I think Hearthstone is fun to watch, but tournaments aren't that interesting. It's sort of like the Battle Royale thing.
I'll watch.
Where it's fun to watch like a streamer play, but like watching a tournament is like kind of boring.
I still think that Artifact's microtransaction system is pretty weird because it's kind of the same way that real card games work, and I think people don't want that in their digital card game. Where like you buy the pack, and instead of it just like not having value, the pack still has value, so they kind of upsell you on the pack a little bit because you can sell them back.
Where's the? I'm still waiting for the card game that is only like peer to peer, right? But you have everything unlocked.
That'd be cool. That'd be dope. Okay, anyway, 2019 Game of the Year prediction, Smash Ultimate. Okay, Kevin's was
Sekiro.
Andrew's, yours is Doom Eternal. Well, no, it has to be confirmed for 2019.
Confirmed, just Rage.
Rage 2. Okay.
I don't know if it's actually gonna win, but I'm interested.
Oh, okay. What do you think will actually win? How about? Because I genuinely think Sekiro will actually win that.
I think total Game of the Year might actually end up being Smash Ultimate.
I think it might be Last of Us Part 2. I think it depends on how good that is, honestly.
Last of Us Part 2 will probably get narrative.
Definitely.
I don't think it'll get Game of the Year.
I don't know. They did some really, like, assuming that what we actually saw was actual gameplay, which it probably wasn't, but if it was, they could
honestly,
take it.
If all of these games are really good, I think that there's a really good chance that it's not going to be any of them.
Yeah, they're all just so good that they have to give it to something like that just stands out.
Just out of nowhere, just some random game just wins.
That's
Deltarune
probably what we're
2.
going to have happen. Some game we were not anticipating.
Like, all of these games were just so good that they couldn't pick one, otherwise they'd alienate, like...
Oh my god, the winner, Shenmue 3.
Yo, Shaq Fu 3, baby! No, dude, it's Super Mario Bros. 2 again!
What the hell is Yoshi's Crafted World?
It must be the sequel to Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, Yoshi games are fine. They're like Kirby games. Like, you play them. They're fun.
Wait, wasn't World War Z a movie?
That's also becoming a game. Lily, do you have a pick? I know you said you weren't really sure what was coming out in 2019, but now that we've kind of gone through a list, what is your pick?
I mean, you can just Google 2019 games.
I don't...
Stardew Valley multiplayer.
I already have that.
Wait, but when did it come out? If it came out after November 14th, who counts for next year?
Oh, November 14th is the
cutoff.
Let's see. I don't know. I wouldn't say I highly anticipate it because I already have it. I've already played it. For some reason this year, like, all the games I've been looking forward to have been, like, released already. So I don't really have any opinion.
All right, and that was the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the two-part Game Development Club at San Jose State podcast number 11. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. We'll see you for season 2. Starting season 2 starting the next semester. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Woo!